Gibberpish podcast.
Well, I may have flipped the entire room around just to fuck with Dom for this one episode of the podcast, but we heard that Gibberpish, aren't we, Dom?
Yep, we're here. The room doesn't look that much different. Is that the weird thing?
It's all the same components, but they've just been kind of shifted around a little bit, and due to some technical issues, we are now recording directly on the PC. Previously, we'd record on a laptop. I changed the file over, moved some stuff around, but then we noticed we would have random 5-second drops of just audio. It'd be like normal wavelengths, blah, 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 and then just random 5-second chunks of nothing. And we actually caught the error last time because this happened for 2 episodes. So if you've noticed any weird edits, it's me trying to edit around completely missing audio of conversations. If you're like, you never really got to that, there's a good chance, if it's within the first hour of a podcast, that I've had to kind of creatively edit around a weird random drop in audio. But we're working now on, because the processor was apparently the issue, and I'm like, well, i3 in the laptop, i5 in the computer. I guess the computer's the best idea, so we're kind of making the best of what we have at the moment. And I got to one point, I was like, I'm already moving that over there. What if I just started randomly moving shit? It's working so far, but I need to figure out what's going on down that end of the room. And I need to order myself new cables, because as much cables as I have, and there's a lot of cables in this
there's
room,
a lot of cables here.
serious danger of tripping up, and I need to organise shit, but I also need to find 10 metre Ethernet cables, because the 5 metres are like a foot short. Like, I'm holding the cable like, come on, you freaking move.
Stretching.
And the problem is that I can't take the power cables for the router and put them to that end of the couch, which would be great because I could just use the cables to the Xbox and the PC that's over there. That would work perfectly. But no, those cables are too short. Everything's just like a little bit off.
Yeah, everything's like everything's just a bit too short here.
And we almost have problems with the PC as well. I was listening to a random episode of your podcast, and I think it was just watching Linus Tech Tips, and I was like, watching about some new graphics card being kind of okay, but over priced for what you're getting. And then all of a sudden I hear something, something just kind of fades into your kind of senses. You're like, what am I hearing? I don't have, the Xbox isn't on, it's not a fan from that. It's definitely a fan, it's got that constant repetition. Like, what the hell is this? What's going on? Oh shit, it's the PC. And at this point this is Wednesday we're recording on, and I originally planned to do stuff on Sunday. This was Friday night. It's like, I hope Amazon delivers on Saturdays. Dear God, please. So I was taking out the fan on Saturday and screwing the new one into place, and was not expecting just to deal with having to, normally when you buy stuff with screws to attach it, it's pre-cut screwing holes.
Yeah, there's pre-drilled holes. Yeah, there's threadings in there, yeah.
Not in this fan.
Not in this fan.
Yeah, you use the screws, which aren't they're not pointed either. You're just using the kind of thread on the screw to cut through the plastic, because it's just a little bit shorter.
Ah, right.
It works, and it's fine, and it saves them a bit of work, so it probably saves me a little bit of money for the price of the fan.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking fan. It's completely silent for hours on end to high-end gaming. It doesn't make noise. That's why you're using it. Nice. We deliberately chose a very quiet fan for this one.
You just reminded me of the worst shift that I ever had when I worked at Halfords.
Yeah.
Customer comes in, buys a £1,500 bike.
Right.
$1,500. Brand spanking new Boardman road bike.
Yeah.
And they said, right, you've just passed all your... Because you had to do courses when you worked at Halfords. If you wanted to do anything related to building bikes, servicing bike, you had to do these courses.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I love learning. I always people say, oh, I fucking hate school. I love the process of learning shit. So I was happy to go through all the courses. Just in the course that allowed me to build and inspect and service bikes. So they said to me, Dom, go and build that Boardman. I went, fucking yes. Because this was a big complicated machine. I was I had
it's 15 grand. It's
1,500
quid worth of bike.
And there was a computer that you had to wire into it that picked up the front and back wheels. Cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Love building this thing. I got all the complicated parts. No problem.
Yeah.
But when it came time to mounting the handlebars, it's this little bracket that you put 4 sort of screws on it, like Allen key bolt type things.
All right.
So I put 3 of them in, no problem. I put the one in the top left hand corner, tightened it. I don't know if maybe tightened it a bit too tight or tightened it, or maybe the screw was just crappy and maybe had a bit of weakness, but I bolted it in, and when I was torquing them to make sure they wouldn't fall out, top left hand corner, torqued that, the thing snapped. Clean down the middle. I go and grab my manager just goes, fuck.
Yeah.
I went, we don't have anything to deal with that. I went, well, what do we do? Do we just dig another bike out? And they went, we can dig another bike out, but you might have to pay £1,500 for the bike that you broke.
Oh.
So eventually we managed to drill a hole in the middle, then force it out.
Right.
But then we noticed that the threading was totally fucked.
Yeah.
Because the way it had been sitting, the screw itself would kind of cut the original threading. So we had to get this like re-threading machine and just like screw a new, like basically just drill a new hole in it, like new threading in it. Eventually we got it back done. The bike got put out on time, but I won't. Like, it taught me a fucking lesson. Like if it sounds like it's going to break, just leave it. Don't fucking go too far.
There's a point of talk about like you hate learning or you don't.
No, I fucking love learning.
You love learning, but like there's two things I notice guys really get into when they're like just a little bit older, not older, but like our age when you're like 20s and you start like doing other things like for work. People love learning shit that's relevant to their job.
Oh yeah.
People like to learn stuff that's slightly outside of it but still helpful.
Yeah.
So like first aid.
Oh yeah.
A lot of stuff like that is really enjoyable for guys in our age. But also people like learning. There's not an exam at the end.
Oh yeah.
You notice that you're interested in history more?
No, for me, I think I'm more interested in not so much history, because I mean I've never been overly interested in history, but learning to see computer parts, learning more about how computers work, endlessly fascinating to me now. Yeah. I mean, I always had a bit of an interest in it before, but now just kind of, especially since my laptop is literally needing resuscitation every other week, I've been just enjoying the hell out of just digging into some online tutorials and just going, I can do this and that'll boost that. Fucking loved it and shit like that. Yeah.
But like if you learn just something, and it's a lot of times it's mechanical stuff, like if you just learn how to fix stuff and replace stuff or like repair things or make things better, a lot of guys seem to just kind of glue onto that and know that. Yeah. I've found with a couple guys at work who didn't really like history. We like all hated history in high school and sort of that. But then you get to like actually just enjoy history, like learn or like listen to people talk about history. Like it's a lot more enjoyable. Like now that I know at the end of like a 6-week block, I'm not going to get like a random quiz on like weird Austro-Hungarian facts that built up to World War II.
I think for me, because I'm not gonna say I don't like read into history or anything like that, but there's been a certain times when I was just thinking I'd rather read for days on the standards of living in Edo era Japan and historical shit like that. I'd rather read shit like that over crap that's happening just now, because I'm like, I don't care about current politics, but tell me what the Shogun were up to. I'm all in for that shit. Yeah,
you want to take it out. You want to make it something that's irrelevant to you, so you can just learn something. Yeah, but like, I mean, you could say, well, if you think about the connecting pieces, like it's out of context of what we live in. You
learn
now.
A little conversation stuff. Just like, do you want to know what I was reading today? I read blah blah blah.
Yeah, I heard this thing about this thing and blah blah.
You start conversations that don't descend into you and your friends having a 4-hour fucking debate over politics. I'm still pissed at
the party thing from last episode.
Thing, yeah, fucking annoys me.
Well, guess what, Dom? It's about to get a whole lot worse.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I don't know if you saw this today, but Nicola Sturgeon has promised Indie Ref 2 by 2021.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
With the weird provision, if we leave the EU. Like, what does she know?
Surely.
Like, that's by October 31st. The extension that I saw is October 31st for October. Brexit. And she's like, if. What? It's happening, like, now. So your independence referendum was happening before 2021. And I'm like, kind of a weird, like, it's a weird kind of slap in the face of like, if they ever get it fixed or whatever, we'll step in and do our part if they get it fixed. Weird little backhand she dropped in there as well. And then obviously
Sturgeon's up there weird ways.
Yeah, and you get the immediate barrage of pro SMP tweets and like people pro independence and stuff, and people saying they're going to jump ship from no's to yes. And then you get the Scottish Conservatives try to get involved, like, well, actually, we think this is divisive, and immediately go into that tweet and then just see the replies to that. It's the most vile shit, like it's the most vile, polite shit you've ever heard. People were just telling them to shut the fuck up.
This is the most passive aggressive. Say, sir, I take on board your point, but you, sir, are a wank.
I understand that this may seem wrong, but you're a cunt.
I understand democracy and we must respect the vote of the people, but sir, go fuck yourself.
I saw that today. I thought, another 2 years at this point.
It's never going to end. They're never going to get to an agreeable decision.
People, I am trying to drink less. Drink less.
I have started drinking more because people assume that because I'm studying the law and I'm studying the European Union that they assume that I have some opinion on this. I come out to house parties. I go out to drink to forget this bullshit.
Yeah.
Please don't make me talk about it unless I can bill you. If I can bill you, I will talk shop. I will talk the nitty gritty, motherfucker. But no, I don't want to do this.
Here's what you do. You say it's a consulting session, an
Yeah.
educational sermon that you give to people.
This is
Charge
my
£5 at the
lecture
door.
circuit.
Yeah, give a lecture.
Yeah,
That's
give a
what you're
lecture.
gonna do.
TED Talks, motherfucker. Hit me up.
Pay me for half an hour where I just waffle on vaguely about the EU.
Yeah. When I just shit buzzwords. Like hard Brexit, soft Brexit, dirty jokes. That's going to be my whole thing. I just stand there for the rest of 29 minutes just staring at them.
I was going to just try and segue into, did you see anything about the Irish journalist? But I don't think we can go hard, jokes, vague statements, dirty jokes, and then go, what about the Irish journalist?
Irish journalist? I don't think
There was a woman shot with a shotgun in the face, I think, during riots in Londonderry. So it's weird that it's been that prominent. At the same time, we've had a massive bombing, campaign almost, carried out in Sri Lanka. I think it's Sri Lanka? Yeah, I think it's Sri Lanka. Where almost 300 people have died. And it was carried out over the Easter weekend. And not a lot of people are covering it because there was one girl shot in the face in Ireland. I'm like, really? That's yes, that's bad. Yes, that's a tragedy. Yes, that's a callback to serious violence that happened in Britain's not so distant past. But there are 300 dead people in mass terrorist attacks on another continent. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that. It's not a big deal. And I think even the government of Sri Lanka is saying, we have not handled this well.
Yeah.
I think I know which one I want to hear a bit more, but I feel like because it's a journalist that was shot, journalists are making a martyr out of their own person. Because they have a bad habit of doing that. If you see a journalist get shot, you hear about it for 3 days.
Yeah.
At this point, it's been a week.
Yeah, they kind of overplay it. See, when you said shooting there, I thought you were talking about the shooting in Edinburgh.
There was a shooting in Edinburgh?
Yeah, you know Train Spotting. Obviously, you're fucking Scottish.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Bradley Welsh.
Yeah, Welsh, yeah, because we were the Scottish star Bradley Welsh. And you're like, huh?
The guy who was in Train Spotting 2 apparently was shot outside his gym, his boxing gym. Yeah,
it was related to some kind of, it was related to some kind of intimidation that he'd done in the past.
It was
he had some ties, some connections or associations that were a bit sketchy.
I think it was something to do with the fact that he was trying to, it was something to do with firearms. He was out there saying that firearms are still very prevalent in Scotland. I don't know. I didn't really read into this. As soon as they said Bradley Welsh, I thought Irvin Welsh, because he wrote the Train Spotting books. So
yeah.
Is it this guy that's been killed? I have no idea who this Bradley Welsh guy is, but still at the same time, to think that it can still happen over here.
Someone was shot in Scotland. That is for the Americans listening, that's a very rare occurrence here.
Oh yeah.
That is not how our kids go to school here.
Yeah.
That was bad. I don't feel bad about it. It's a joke, but it's a joke about the truth.
Yeah.
But
it's facts.
That's just a fact at this point. We just don't have those since there was the massacre in Dunblane.
Oh yeah.
After that, we're not doing it anymore. There are occasional shootings. There's a few shootings in Ireland because of the Troubles, and people have access to some very sketchy firearms from the the following decade after those. And there's not, I wouldn't say regular shootings. It crops up every couple of years due to sectarian violence over there. But in Scotland, it just doesn't happen. So when you hear that somebody's been shot in Scotland, it's like, oh wow, where, how? If somebody said, someone was shot in Scotland and it was a hunting accident, you're like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but
that's just a statistical accident. It happens. But then to hear somebody was actually gunned down in Scotland, you're like, wow, that's kind of terrifying in a weird way. You just kind of hope that calms the fuck down and disappears.
Actually, this is an actual quote from the article that's saying, Police Scotland confirmed on Thursday that the killing was being treated as a murder and reassured the public that while shootings remain extremely rare in the Scottish capital, resources were being dedicated to the inquiry. This just shows how unprepared they were for this. Shootings don't happen that often in Scotland.
Yeah.
To the fact, if ever. I mean, let's not say that they're totally unheard of, but there's still maybe one every 40 years. If even. That's a totally fabricated statistic, but it's something along those lines.
Yeah. It's a very, once I've been, Dunblane was 20-some, almost 30, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
At this point. So one intended shooting in 25 years, with the exception of probably some inevitable gun range accident. or an army training exercise gone horribly wrong. You know, those are the average Scottish statistics. Not that surprising.
Yeah, it's not totally up there. But you said that's just facts. You just reminded me of something else that I seen on YouTube recently, circulating around a certain actress by the name of Brie Larson and how her and Chris Hemsworth were not getting along during an interview.
Okay.
Like, you can tell that she's totally not into it. Like, she has what I like to call new girl syndrome, because it's Chris Hemsworth, Brie Larson, and Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo and Chris Hemsworth, they're kind of bouncing off each other. They've been in the movie, they know each other. Yeah. Every time Brie Larson tries to talk, you can actually just hear Chris Hemsworth just going, nah. Nah. And at one point, she tries to be funny. She's saying, "Oh, I do all my own stunts." She fucking doesn't. And every single still that you see of her preparing to do a stunt scene, it's a completely different fucking woman. She does not do her own stunts. But every time she's like, "Yeah, I do my own stunts," and she went. Then Chris Hemsworth said, Tom Cruise did it first. You want to be the next Tom Cruise? And she goes, "I would like to be the first Brie Larson. Thank you very much." And you just see them doing the kind of John Krasinski from The Office, just in that kind of looking at the camera, going, "Really?" It's just the Curb Your Enthusiasm music just starts playing, just like.
The problem with that is with that lot, I don't know if they're just doing that on purpose.
Yeah, I think there might be a bit of hazing in there, but the way that she's been acting in interviews, you just thinking, you're not doing yourself any favours here. Like, just stop trying to be, stop trying to say, "I'm doing this for all the women out there." Just, no, you're doing this like everyone else is doing it. You're doing it for a fucking paycheck.
The goddamn huge paycheck.
Yeah, fair enough. If you can use that paycheck to do some good with it, if you can, say to other people, like, "Oh, they don't always have to be dudes. Let's make some female superheroes out there." Great message, but when you say that this is your sole reason for doing it, you kind of come across as a little bit pretentious. Yeah. And that's the vibe that I'm getting from watching her in her videos, in her interviews. She's coming across as a bit pretentious. And after talking to someone who watched her Netflix movie, The Unicorn Store.
Yeah, that's one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, yeah. She does come across as very pretentious in that. She comes across as, the whole point of it is, I mean, from what I've seen in the trailer, I have not watched it, and quite frankly, from what I've seen online, I'm glad I haven't watched it, because it's just like a pile of garbage. But the whole point of it is, no matter how old you get, never lose that childhood, that look of that spark that you had as a child. Everything's just wondrous, and you just
never lose that childhood dream. I think she wants to buy a unicorn, if I'm right.
Yeah, she wants to buy a unicorn, or she wants to buy the materials to make a unicorn, or she wants to turn her house into a unicorn. I don't fucking know.
She wants to turn her house into a unicorn.
I don't know. I watched the trailer and I just thought, this is not my type of movie. Yeah, I just thought, no, I'm not going to watch it.
People are learning lessons and no one's doing kung fu.
Yeah, no one's doing kung fu. Where are the robots?
I see no lasers, sir. No lasers.
Where are the angry Japanese alien men that fire beams out their hands? I am not watching this. A good day, sir.
We are done here.
Where are the Saiyans? That's all I'm saying. I don't feel good about that pun.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I've been watching Argic on stream, and he's been hitting up the puns one after the other.
He goes with like dad level tier puns. Yeah, it's like ridiculous.
I'm telling you, it's something about being an uncle. You get secondary dad. Yeah. You get like, all the dad jokes that they're actually too afraid to say filtered down to you. And you just think, yeah, I'm going to say that. See what happens. Yeah. It never goes well.
No, you're not supposed to.
There's a reason why they're called dad jokes. You need to be a dad to make them. If you're not a dad, it just looks weird. Or that your child is now gone, and you're like, I remember my children.
I was going to ask you about with Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
this is recorded on 24th of April.
Yeah, funnily enough, it comes out on Friday.
Yeah. Thursday for us. This is Wednesday, 24th.
All right.
Australia's had the release. Apparently,
I think I'm going to see it on Friday.
I'm going to see it on Friday as well.
Yeah.
Falkirk?
Yeah, Falkirk.
Yeah. What time?
Shit. Like 7 o'clock.
Ooh, 5 p.m. I'm coming out there. Well, actually,
you'll
it's a 3-hour film. You'll be in there for an hour. Yeah. I'll text you and be like, hey, get ready for this.
Yours is at 5. We go in at 7, so every chance that you'll still have an hour left to go. I'll be just heading in. Yeah. Run about the hour left mark on yours.
Yeah, so I'll come out an hour later and just text you all the spoilers, and you just hope your phone's still on, and you just go, oh shit. Oh, so for that, I was wondering, for the podcast, I get the feeling we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
Do you want to do a separate episode? I think
we need to.
I think we put it in a little bubble and just say, ladies and gentlemen, this is the spoiler episode. Yeah. You don't want to hear spoilers, kindly fuck off.
Yeah, I think we do the endgame episode as its own separate separate episode because we're going to want to talk about it at a decent length. We're probably going to get in a bit of spoilers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we do.
Well, I think we do it to have the spoilers.
Yeah,
and we can maybe drop a
its
little thumbs up to it in the main episode or whatever we do. But we do need, I think it needs its own little space.
Yeah.
So that we can just talk freely about it and have nobody say, well, you spoiled it for me. And I'm like,
oh, well done.
It takes us a week to put out the episode. You've had a week. Fuck off.
To be fair, yeah, if it's been a certain amount of time and you haven't seen it, I do not feel guilty about spoilers. But yeah, I think for Endgame, I think a lot of people are going to take the time to go and see it. So yeah.
And the other thing we talked about was Game of Thrones.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't started it?
I haven't started it. I'm waiting for a Now TV password.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah,
my
original connections, they don't do that no more. They're out the game.
Oh right, okay. It was a shared partnership.
Virgin Media had them.
Oops. We noticed that you exist in multiple voices at the same time. How is that?
I just got a Facebook message from them saying, I don't download them anymore. I went, why? And they just sent me screenshots. I'm like, this is why. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay. We'll allow that one. But yeah, I've started it. Up to episode 2. Definitely not going to spoil anything for you, but I had a thought about once this is all done. Once
Hodor takes the Iron Throne, boom, spoiled.
How up to date are you? I have some bad news, sir.
No, I know he passed away.
Okay, good.
I know he's dead.
Hodor comes back, takes Iron Throne as the new Night King.
Still, all I can say is Hodor. And this deep kind of bass boosted voice is just Hodor.
The red keep just shakes. Hodor. Oh my god.
The dragons are current, just going, it's King Hodor.
I
think I'm up to.
You should be ready to start season.
Yeah, I think the last episode that I seen was the very last episode of season 7.
Yeah, so
John and Danny boning.
Yeah, on the boat.
Yeah, when you're just sitting thinking,
ride those waves all the way home.
You ain't got to do nothing, John. Knowing what the audience knows, he's just sitting thinking, you can't do that. That's your auntie. But then again, you're thinking this is a George R. R. Martin written.
Well, I suppose this isn't technically really a spoiler. It is a spoiler for Game of Thrones season 8. If you haven't caught up all the way, it's not going to be a spoiler for you because, as you say, as the audience, you already know what we're about to talk about.
Yeah,
is the fact that John and Danny are related. Technically, Danny is his uncle. Or aunt, sorry. If you think about it. I said Danny there and confused myself. I was like, Danny, therefore a boy, therefore uncle. Yeah. No, Daenerys is technically his aunt. And I'm like, oh, awkward.
Then you remember you're watching Game of Thrones, you're like, they fuck all the time.
Oh, the Targaryens, they're worse than the Lannisters. We just haven't seen it on camera yet.
Yeah.
So we have that. Now characters in the show know. Now people have told John, and John has told Daenerys, and no one's first response is, "Ooh, I'm fucking my aunt." No one has responded with that. Nobody has went, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Nobody's like, "I need to see a priest."
No one just buttons up to the top button, just goes, "No."
Awkward. Nobody's reaction to that. It is always to do with the throne. It is 110% to do with the throne. Wow, you people are committed.
Do you think afterward they just kind of go, wait, hold on a minute. She's your aunt, dude. Fuck the Iron Throne.
The people who know aren't having that conversation. The people who are being told are not having that reaction. No one is discussing the fact that someone is fucking their aunt in Westeros. Maybe that's just the kind of par for the course thing.
Yeah,
and it's based on
just so accepted.
Well, the thing is, it's based
Westeros
on medieval Britain.
Yeah.
And medieval Britain had a serious incest problem, hence people with weak chins. That's just a thing that happened.
Yeah.
that is just something that happened at the time, and now we know better. But it is still strange to have nobody just kind of click those things into place and say, oh yeah, this is bad. Really bad.
You're not going to get Jon Snow stopping midway, just going, we need to stop. I've grown a conscience.
Let's be honest, nobody is quitting that. I am sorry, nobody is
Amelia
quitting
Clark is ridiculous.
Yes.
Although, one important thing that I did learn from watching Game of Thrones was the separation between actor and character, which is a lesson I think a lot of people need to learn, especially surrounding certain events like the Manana thing and
all right, you're taking it to there. I was like, related to what character? Like, I can't think of anybody that's had a weird issue.
When you see Daenerys played by Amelia Clark, you're just thinking, like, this is Daenerys. She's stern. This kind of like she is she's a queen. That she presents herself. Then you see Amelia Clark, and she's just this kind of bubbly little imp thing. Like, oh right, that's what Amelia Clark's really
she's
like.
a successful woman in her mid-20s. Yeah, she's happy with her life.
Fucking extremely happy, and she looks like. Looking at her, you'd assume you're some kind of teacher. Like, you're a very young teacher. You've got that look about you. You're too happy all the time.
Yeah.
Then you watch Daenerys, and you're like, okay, yeah,
she's a stone cold bitch.
She's stone cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I kind of land separate the whole character thing. But
yeah,
going back to Game of Thrones, I will try and, because the episodes are building up and they're getting fucking long. I think the next episode is going to be 90 minutes.
Yeah, the next one's going to be the Battle for Winterfell, which was apparently quoted as being the battle itself will be as long and more technically involved than the battle for Helm's Deep in the Two Towers.
Shit.
Which, if I may say so, holy fuck, you're setting that bar high. But after Battle of the Bastards, I really think they can pull that one off.
Yeah, Battle of the Bastards was great.
Battle of the Bastards was one of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like I didn't enjoy going through it the first time because I had no idea what was going to happen. But when you know what happens at the end, you can then go back and enjoy it again.
Oh yeah.
And once you get to enjoy it from a technical point of view, you're like, this thing is amazing. How the fuck did you people do it?
Not even just from a technical view, just from a view of, I mean, when you watch fantasy things, everything's well choreographed, well scripted. The Battle of the Bastards was just down and brutal.
Yeah,
there was no fancy sword play. It was just a shank, like fuck, I'll punch you in the chin, that kind of thing. It was just a use whatever's around you type battle. It's
what Game of Thrones has always done well, and that's why when it came to one scene, I think it was season 6, where I'm gonna forget a lot of names now. Sir Bronn and Jaime Lannister go over to a foreign country.
Is it the caravan when they're taking the hold of gold, or is that's season 7?
Yeah, that's season 7. I'm talking about when they're they have to sail to the land where the Viper comes from.
That's Bravos?
No.
Or is it Dorne?
Dorne, yeah. They sail to Dorne and meet with the prince there.
That's because they're trying to stash Marcella.
That's where they have one fancy la-di-da like flaring swords fight, and it's the shittest fight in the entire thing. Mostly because you can see the actors in the background kind of faking hits for the out of focus camera, but because it's Game of Thrones, it's filmed on 4K, like ultra high def cameras. You can still see them kind of not hitting anything, like they're just kind of flailing their arms around, pretending they're fighting with swords. But then you get to every other fight, it's just people stabbing people at short range with daggers.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. But what I wanted to ask you about was, I had other questions about Game of Thrones, but if you've not watched it, can't ask questions.
No.
With Avengers Endgame,
talk shop on any other seasons, but no, season 8. Season 8 and Mortal Kombat 11 proper are going to be my treat post-exam.
Yeah.
I'm just going to binge watch the full thing. I'm going to play Mortal Kombat 11 till my fucking thumbs fall off.
But with Avengers Endgame, Game of Thrones wrapping up.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the end. Even if Avengers continues, we'll get more Game of Thrones property. This is the end of these titles, these series, these big geek explosions that we've had recently.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the power vacuum coming afterwards?
Because Marvel isn't done by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah,
they finished the Infinity Saga.
Of the Avengers.
Yeah,
like as we know it. I think I don't know what's going to happen, but I think this is the end.
We'll find out on Friday for definite. But they've stated that this is finishing Phase 3. Make no mistake. I think Kevin Feige was on. He did an interview with Empire magazine or some big media magazine saying that he's planned up to Phase 5.
Okay.
Phase 4 has been rewritten to include the Fox guys.
Good.
So
Good.
I'm personally fucking jazzed about that. One of my favourite Marvel superheroes is Wolverine, so I'm interested to see what the main line Marvel guys do with it. Mm-hmm. Now that Hugh Jackman's not coming back, but to be fair, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is probably one of the best parts of the Fox Marvel universe.
It's so good, it can stand aside from everything else and be amazing.
Yeah, and I think Dark Phoenix, the new X-Men movie, is going to be nowhere near as good.
Really?
Yeah, I just think none of the actors look bothered about it. Have you seen
I saw the trailer for it.
Jennifer Lawrence in it? She looks like she's just there for a fucking paycheck.
She's been cashed out for a while though.
Yeah,
she was done at not Apocalypse. The one for that, Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past.
She was like, I'm done. I think at one point she's like, I'm never putting on that fucking rubber suit again.
Yeah, because I remember if you watch the bloopers for Apocalypse, every blooper first just going, "Can we go to lunch now?" You're so checked out with this movie, but there's more of that in Dark Phoenix. You're just thinking Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. Fair enough, she might look the part, but she's probably one of the worst parts of those movies because she's not great with the American accent.
I just haven't enjoyed the X-Men movies for a while.
Yeah, I think post Logan. I mean, Logan was just so fucking good. Nothing else can come up to that.
Yeah.
Apocalypse was okay, but I would have liked
really
more.
like that movie.
I think I would have liked more of the 90s cartoon version of Apocalypse. That hammy, overacting villain. I would have liked more of that, I think, compared to Oscar Isaac's just, we will tear down man's world and we will build a better one.
With like 100 layers of synth over it.
Yeah, with just a boom,
yeah,
the Godzilla noise or the Inception noise over the top of it.
No, just his voice was so modulated. It sounded horrific. Like you could hear it just cracking the computer that they tried to like up it on. And I just watched that movie. I was like, I just don't care. Like,
I think for me, after X-Men 3 Last Stand, I was just done with that franchise. I was like, give me new stuff. Give me the characters that I actually want to be.
Yeah. Full reboot this thing or don't bother.
Yeah, give me Gambit. Give me proper Rogue, not this weird...
Have we had Gambit yet?
No, we haven't
We've had no Gambit in any form. And Gambit was the thing. I remember there at one point, we're doing a Gambit movie.
With Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
He was meant to be Gambit.
I was like, ooh, what we got?
Because I used to read a lot of comics back in the day. Like, I used to buy a lot of comics. And I read, one of the series that I read religiously was Wolverine and Gambit because it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
And even in Marvel vs. Capcom 1, no, it wasn't in 3. I would say 2, but I fucking hate Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I don't care what anybody says. No, it's the best fighting game ever. Fuck you, it's terrible. But in Marvel vs. Capcom 1, my team was Wolverine and Gambit.
Yeah. And
I stuck with that team for quite a long time. I've read a lot of Gambit stuff when I was younger. I had Gambit toys, the X-Men 90s show, second best character next to Wolverine. Let's say second best character, because in third for me it was Cyclops. Don't know why people hate Cyclops. I've always liked him.
I was just about to bash Cyclops, I'm not going to lie. I don't know why.
I mean, lately he's been hit with the villain stick. People are just like, you are now, or people in Marvel are just, you are now the villain. But my gripes on the current state of the Marvel comics writing staff could fill an entire episode. But I always liked Cyclops, but Gambit has always been my favourite one of my favourite characters in the X-Men, even in the larger Marvel universe. And to see that they were finally going to bring a Gambit movie out, I was like, yes, let's fucking happen. And that was, 5 years ago?
Yeah, that's peak Channing Tatum. That's like perfect star power to just kind of push that up into the next level.
And then we got Gambit in X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is not as bad a movie as people say it is. I kind of liked X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's with Deadpool with the mouth so shut. That's the worst part of that movie.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's all right. I mean, it's not fantastic. It's not Logan, but I don't think anything in that series can be Logan. But it's not a bad movie, but Gambit was just, he's there. Oh, wait, no, he's finished. Son of a bitch. We got 5 minutes of Gambit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always been this thing that fans have wanted, but they've never done. So, be cool to see a Gambit movie soon, but I think it'll be the mainline Marvel guys that do it.
Yeah.
Or that they commission another another part of the Marvel Cinematic crew to do.
Yeah. Just I was thinking about the whole, like, the last time we had a nerd boom this big was Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
And then in the vacuum that followed was Twilight.
Oh fuck yeah.
So I'm thinking,
wait, did we get Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings at the same time? Or was it kind of Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter? I think there might have been some overlap. I think it might have been Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, like Harry Potter goes on for like 8 years, and then I think there's a couple of the Lord of the Rings movies there at the end.
I think we might have got Return of the King just before the last couple of Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
So I remember going to see one of the last Harry Potter movies in 2012, and I think we were long done with the Lord of the Rings series by then.
But then, I mean, those just put those two together, it's huge nerd boom.
Oh yeah.
And then following that,
we had
Twilight.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, what's the kind of karmic retribution for like the last decade of great geekdom?
Do you want to know what we genuinely... following that kind of logic, we finish this phase, we finish the Infinity Saga, as it's been called. Like however many movies in the past 3 phases are all being dubbed the Infinity Saga. We finish the Infinity Saga, we finish Game of Thrones. The power vacuum gets filled by more crappy live-action anime movies. More Ghost in the Shells.
Actually, that's a shout. That really is a shout when you think about it. Because anime itself is exploding.
Oh yeah.
Never been about... This season...
Alita Battle Angel has almost cemented the fact that there's going to be more...
Did you see that movie?
No.
I liked it.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not bashing it in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just saying that movie cements the fact that there's going to be more.
Yeah, I think that one just gives you like just enough of like the anime community has just enough of kind of like I was okay reaction to that to say okay,
have
the
a bit of a
nerds are
shoulder
behind
shrug.
it now we get the general public involved.
Yeah,
and there's now a massive backlog of shows that were great.
Yeah, I mean, we're now getting. I mean, this is all confirmed properties that we're getting. We're getting live action Cowboy Bebop. We're getting.
I'm up for that one.
Live action Mobile Suit Gundam.
That's terrifying.
The original series.
With like Hero?
No, the original series with Amuro. We're talking the one that.
Oh god.
I think this might have came out in the 70s, might even be the 60s. This is an old show.
I'm up for it if they stick with. They have to go with. Don't Michael Bay this fucker, right? Do not make everything like. I don't want to see every gear. I want the obvious plastic boxy designs.
Yeah,
I want that bullshit back. I want that.
Yeah. I mean, I would kind of dig maybe a bit of technical detail, but I don't want to see the gears. I maybe just want to see a couple of extra lines or something down the arm, just to make it look a bit more believable. But I don't want to see the interlocking parts of his face mask. I don't want to see the little gears and parts that make up the V fin. I just want to see, like you said, the design, the original design, what it took.
Look at like I just finished Iron Blooded Orphans season 2. Like I've now wrapped up that.
Good.
So good. Oh my!
Good.
I saw people bashing it, and I'm like, what the
what is
fuck are you
wrong
people
with you?
on about?
What is wrong with you?
This is everything we thought Gundam was when we were kids, and they made it real and made it look amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I still like
But
Gundam
that's
one,
the-
but whatever.
Yeah. Those designs are overcomplicated for what you. If you're going
Yeah.
Gundam, that's too complicated.
Oh, yeah.
That's Michael Bay Gundam.
Yeah.
I want you to take it right back to like basic drawings of blocks, but
Yeah.
CG, like 3D CGI.
Yeah.
And that's
Incidentally, that was probably one of the best parts of Ready Player One when you see the live action Gundam from the original series.
yeah.
If they did something like that, that'd be fine because it wasn't overly complicated. It was literally, let's take the original design, we'll do some stuff to it to make it look a bit more real. Maybe add a couple more, different black lines, make it a bit more less boxy around the arms, but let's keep it still blocky around the torso.
Yeah.
Let's keep the head exactly the same. Let's not do anything like that. And it worked. Let's just say Ready Player One is the biggest pile of garbage that I've ever fucking watched. It's a goddamn awful movie, and anyone that can...
But they put a half decent Gundam in there, so
they put a really good gun. Like, the best part of the movie is watching all the cameos, because at one point they go into a bar and you're like, oh, there's Chun-Li, there's Jade from Mortal Kombat, there's Goro. Was that fucking Mario? What the hell? You see all these like other different video game characters walking past, like, oh, there's Tracer from Overwatch. Like, but that is the whole movie.
yeah.
Like, at one point they're doing the final battle scene, it's like, and there's the Battletoads, there's Full Gore from Killer Instinct. That is a deep cut that I know you will not get. If you play the Rare Replay game, Killer Instinct's on there. It's a fantastic game that takes no skill.
Okay.
It's all auto combo, so you just hit X 4 times, that's you done about 20% of their health. It's great.
Comes in my Twitch stream.
Oh, Killer Instinct's a great game. But that was the best part of Ready Player One. Just
Yeah.
seeing all the references. And then at the end, the Gundam fights Mechagodzilla. You're like, holy shit, this is what I sat through this entire bullshit movie for. It's not worth it, but you might enjoy it. Yeah, I think that's going to be the next thing. In a post Game of Thrones Phase 3 Avengers world, we're going to get more live action anime movies. Some of them I'm looking forward to. Like live action Gundam. If it is true, Taika Waititi's Akira, I could be on board for that.
I mean, we're so
More so
terrified
than-
of Akira. We're like, oh my god, they're going to do it. They're going to do bad things to the Akira. Taika Waititi's directing.
Yeah, because that was exactly my thing. I was like, no, Akira's my favourite movie of all time. It's fantastic. The Ragnarok guy. Thor Ragnarok. Yeah.
Oh,
Done. He can do good with it.
Yeah.
So it's going to terrify me. But if they do it right, they do it justice. If they get a proper fan of the source material and to direct it, I think that passion will kind of shine through. More so than I think we would get if, just say, Jordan Peele had actually said, yeah, I'll direct an Akira movie. Because...
Was he on the running?
Yeah, he was offered it.
Huh.
But he turned it down because he said, I just don't want to make that kind of movie.
Yeah.
And given what he said recently about him never casting a white lead in his movie...
I did see him saying he was he wanted to cast more black leads, and I'm like, or more African American, more African leads. Like, just use his position of power as a director, producer.
Yeah, to kind of put more...
To just put more black faces out there. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's fine. But he was horribly misquoted as saying he would never, ever cast a white lead.
No, he's not stupid. He
Then
would
he
never
did-
say that.
he would say...
Even if he thought that really loudly,
Yeah.
he would never say that.
Yeah.
He would never catch that man slipping that hard,
No.
that fast in an interview. He knows is coming.
But his version of Akira, I think he's so good at writing horror films.
Yeah.
I think a movie like Akira would be a bit outside his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good thing that I think he just went, nah, it's not my kind of deal.
Yeah.
And given how Get Out was and how Us has been getting reviewed, I'm happy for him to keep doing horror.
Yeah.
We need more comedy writers writing horror movies, because still to watch Halloween, but There's a comedian that wrote that.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty good. Get Out, fucking phenomenal movie. Fucking great movie. We need more comedians writing horror movies.
I want to see Us. I meant to see it in the cinema, but I think it was... I can't remember if it was that Elite Battle Angel. I think they came out at the same time.
Yeah,
it was
probably.
one or the other. I was to see something, or I was going to see Us, and I went to see the something else, and now I can't remember what that film was. It was Captain Marvel.
Ah, right.
That's what it was. It was either Captain Marvel or Us, and I'm like, I kind of need to see this before Avengers, and this is like my one chance to see a movie this month, so I'm going to go see that
see
to
Marvel.
use it for my next time I go see a movie. But yeah, that will... Shitty anime movies as replacements for the karmic rebalancing of the universe. Yeah.
I mean, I'm all happy for anime movies that are done well to take the place over more movies along the lines of Avatar or The Last Airbender and Dragon Ball Evolution. Those are the kind of animation adaptations that I do not want to happen. I get that people don't say that Avatar: The Last Airbender is an anime, but it's a fucking anime. Don't piss on my chips and tell me it's vinegar. Yeah. It is a fucking anime.
I immediately had the reaction of, what if it's bad 40k movies? What if somebody just decides to go all in on Games Workshop's Warhammer 40k universe and just go for it?
Oh, dude. Can you imagine the Horus Heresy, but with all American actors? It'd be horrible.
Oh, no. Just Fulgrim not being a posh twat. You
Let's do Caiaphas Cain, but with, let's get Zac Efron. Let's get Ted Bundy up in this piece. Drive me closer, dude. I want to hit him with my sword.
I need to see that Ted Bundy thing. He did, is that on Netflix? I know they did the documentary on it.
I think it's out in cinemas. I think it might be coming out in cinemas. Because the part that I'd be looking forward to about that film is the guy that played Sheldon playing the lawyer. I think that's probably one of the only parts of that movie they might be getting right.
Did you watch the documentary?
No, I've not watched the documentary yet.
My recommendation for that was based purely on the courtroom scene. You would not believe the shit that guy tried. He had no idea what he was doing.
Oh yeah, we spoke about it before. Like the bit when he's talking about, how did you see the breast, all that shit? When he's talking about the woman's, like seeing the woman's breast.
He wants more details. I'm like, dude, this is proving you did it.
Yeah, put both hands on the table. I don't want to know what you're doing with any hands on the table, you sick son of a bitch.
I just like the fact that he tried to get a motion on the court to say we need to change the what we're eating during the breaks because I'm sick of cheese sandwiches. Dude, you're a fucking serial killer. Would you shut up?
So many women, you will take what you are fucking given.
You're lucky it's a sandwich. You should just be being fed slabs of cheese.
You just get water. We're going to keep you alive, but that's it. Fuck you. But yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, let's make... I think it's more so the fact that I don't like Zac Efron. Because I've watched a few episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a perfectly good Ted Bundy look-like there. Get him in there. Get Zac Efron the fuck out of there.
The problem is he's already, Glenn Howerton is already playing Ted Bundy. He just hasn't... We haven't seen him kill yet. That's the thing. Which there's something we forgot to talk about.
What was it?
Star Wars trailer. If we're going to talk about the great
Rise
geek
of the
explosion
Skywalker,
and the inevitable implosion...
Yeah.
Rise of the Skywalker.
In my opinion, it should be Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of the Skywalker, in inverted commas, we're fixing the last fuck up.
Well, the part of my thing was I watched the trailer and I'm like, this is the most generic trailer I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, this is just, it's happening.
Just
keep your eyes out.
Suspense build, action shot, suspense, action, and just keep ramping up the action shots. Then the emotional gut punch of Daisy Ridley. I would say Daisy Williams. I'm thinking Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones.
No, Daisy Ridley plays
My brain's not working right now. This is not good.
But what happens when you've been drinking for 4 days straight?
You can't prove that.
You're conscious you've been drinking.
Actually, okay, now I'm really struggling to remember if I've been drinking. That's not good. That's really not good. But
Daisy Ridley.
Daisy Ridley just kind of crying on Carrie Fisher's shoulder, and you're like, that's a little mean. Putting that in there just in case there was any criticism of the trailer. This is the last footage of Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, let's just point out, has been dead for 2 years.
Yeah, that is...
I was not ready for that stat when I looked at it because I was like, really, she's in the... When was she...
Someone also pointed out that this year in cinema is going to be the last year that we're going to see footage of Carrie Fisher and Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Talk about gut punches. I was not ready for that. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. I'm not emotionally ready to deal with that.
That's how we didn't talk about Captain Marvel, was that they changed the Marvel intro to be for Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Of just footage of all his camera, Classy fucking move.
Yeah, I hope it's the same thing in Endgame.
Yeah. If it's not, I'd be outraged.
Then again, I've not seen any person on Twitter or Facebook or what have you just saying, why was it not the Stan Lee thing? So I can imagine it still being in there. I don't see why they wouldn't put it in there.
Yeah. But yeah, other than the end, in which you hear Emperor Palpatine's laugh at the cut to black, pretty generic.
Yeah, the fixing of the helmet. One thing I want them to, in the movie, I want them to sort this out, but I don't want to see it in any trailers. I want them to give some final fucking direction to Kylo Ren. At one point, it says, "Oh, he's pulled to the light side." No, he's back evil. Now he is the main evil. Now he might be good again. Like, because the Rise of the Skywalker implies three things, or it could imply one of three things. This is Kylo Ren becoming Ben Solo or Ben Skywalker now that Solo's gone, or it's Rey, she's a Skywalker, or there's some weird bullshit with Luke coming back. Personally, a lot of people are saying that Luke could come back in some kind of weird resurrection thing. But like, why would they bring Luke back? Oh yeah, that's why. J.J. Abrams didn't want him to die. Ray and Johnson just came in. Why not kill him? Like, it could be an emotional gut punch, but then, it didn't work. So I think they might be trying to figure out some way to bring Luke back. Even if they bring him back as a Force ghost and have him have more fucking dialogue, that'd be pretty cool.
I think we'd all be cool with that.
Yeah, but just he went out in such a bitch way. He didn't really get much
I haven't
dialogue.
seen the movie, but just go for it. I don't care.
At one point, he taps into the Force so much that he can basically project himself across the galaxy. He basically taps into a level of the Force that no one else could before.
Are you saying he has Force Speed Force?
No, not Force Speed Force. He literally channels the Force so much that he basically, not even his physical body, he projects a vision of himself halfway across the galaxy.
Okay.
To fight Kylo Ren. And that freaks out Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's just like, fucking shoot him. And he sends it in this big massive barrage of lasers. And he's, obviously because it's just a Force projection, nothing happens to him. So Kylo Ren tries to fight him, then realises that, oh, you're not actually here.
Right.
And that puts such a strain on Luke Skywalker's body that he basically becomes one with the Force.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty cool, but at the same time, what I was looking forward to, and I think what quite a few people...
So you're saying he forced himself out of existence?
What I was looking forward to was Luke maybe becoming the Yoda. Just like, I'm going to stick around for a bit, I'm going to train you, and then maybe at this point, I'll say my job is done. But it just kind of went, okay, you've got a lightsaber now. Later, bitch.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they tried to do that because that was a good part of what the Star Wars was Yoda being there and just walking him through those stages and being like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. But I get the feeling we didn't see much of that in 8 from what I've heard because I've not seen 8. But it was just a case of, here's the lightsaber, wave it around a bit. And
no, it wasn't even a case of, here's a lightsaber. It's like, you found my lightsaber.
You keep that one.
Yeah, you're cool. I don't want it. He doesn't even have his own lightsaber anymore.
Okay.
I don't know. There's so many things that they didn't explain about Luke in episode 8. I mean, how did he get there? I mean, you see the crashed X-Wing and the kind of rocks below the island that he's on, but you don't see his lightsaber. He doesn't wear his Jedi robes. He just kind of lives in some weird hut that the denizens of that island have made. Like, give us more backstory about Luke. We know about Rey. We're going to find out more about Rey. We've got another fucking movie to figure out more about Rey. Tell us why Luke is here. Why is he abandoned the Jedi way?
Other than he's just scared of his nephew.
Yeah, because, I mean, that was probably one of the better parts. Like, oh, right, he fucked up. That's why he's banished himself. He almost killed his nephew and he realised, he wasn't in balance or whatever. Yeah. That was one of the better parts. But there was just so many... I mean, I'm going to stop myself now because we could get into more. But my problems with The Last Jedi... Because I liked it. It was a good film, but not the greatest. I mean, ultimately a decent film, but there was quite a few flaws to it. I'd still watch it at some point. I'm not going to say I'd watch it whenever it was on TV because I know for a fact I fucking wouldn't. But
yeah,
I'd still watch it.
How about the return of Billy D?
Oh, it's fucking
Billy D is Lando. You're like,
yeah.
Like, why wasn't Childish Gambino there? And I'm like, because it's Billy D at the age of 80. That's accurate to the canon. I'm sorry, but
at one point I was sitting watching it. I was like, oh, cool, Millennium Falcon, Billy D.
Holy shit!
Because I remember my brother was lying sleeping. He'd just come back from work. I was just sitting there going, cool. Motherfucking Lando Calrissian. Gordon just looked at, what the fuck? Dude, what? Lando Calrissian's back in Star Wars. Cool. And then he went back to sleep.
Cool, shut the fuck up, go to bed.
It was an audible jumping out of my chair, hands in the air. We got fucking Lando.
Yeah, I'm up for this one. That cameo in the same way that just kind of the random appearances in like the earlier movies.
Have you seen Solo? Just thinking about that.
I don't think so. I'm starting to worry that I've not.
You probably haven't seen it because it was panned left, right, and centre. But dude, really fucking good movie. Oh, yeah. Paul Bettany plays one of the main bad guys in it. The guy who plays Vision.
All right, yeah.
He's one of the main bad guys. Amelia Clarke is in it. She's this kind of information broker. Really good character. The guy that got to play Han Solo. I'm not going to say he's perfect, but he's pretty good at his role. But one of the best parts of the movie is Childish Gambino is Lando Calrissian. He's pretty fucking good at it. He gets that weird kind of laugh that he has, that kind of
the cocky kind of
he fucking gets it. And he actually has in the Millennium Falcon. He actually has just a cupboard wardrobe thing full of capes. Like, that's fucking baller, man. But yeah, no, Solo. It's a lot better than you think it is.
Yeah, that's good. It's one of the things of when the movie is just about to come out. Yeah. I'll sit down and I'll get back into it because I'm not going to watch like the spin-off films as they come out, and when 8 was panned so bad, I didn't bother with the kind of build-up to watch it. Yeah. So I wouldn't go back and watch shit just to prepare for a movie that's going to suck. Yeah,
I totally get that. But Solo is well worth a watch. I'd say
there's a Mandalorian series as well.
Yeah, directed by Jon Favreau.
Okay.
The guy that directed Iron Man 1 and 2.
I mean, if you're going to try and start a franchise, he's probably the guy to go to. Yeah. But,
and he's directing The Lion King as well for Disney. The live-action Lion King.
Yeah, well, live action.
Yeah, live action.
People are complaining about the fact
the
that
non-cartoon.
CGI, look, I don't give a shit.
No one is that good to train actual lions and hyenas and fucking
if
whatever
they
the hell
that, you get bit by lions.
Yeah. Isn't John Oliver playing fucking Zazu or something like that?
And if you think of the one person you would accept replacing Rowan Atkinson in a modern remake, it's pretty much John Oliver. I like his joke actually when he announced it. They put out the big poster of like the cast, and everyone's like, "That's whoa and whoa and whoa," and he started making jokes about it. He says, "Like,
isn't Donald Glover in that as well? Isn't he? He's Simba.
Yeah, he's Simba, and I'm pretty sure it's Beyonce as the female lion, who I've forgotten as well.
Don't look at me, dude. Fucking know. We shall call her wife bait. She's there. She's just there to look at Simba and go, "Yeah, you're going to marry this.
Yeah,
I'm going to have that happy conclusion."
And it was the only returning cast member had to be
fucking James Earl Jones.
Nobody's replacing that voice.
Yeah,
but he made jokes about the fact that like, look, when you're you're a British bloke with a big nose, just lean into it, and it just pops up a picture of Zazu, and you're like, oh yeah, he's voicing Zazu.
Fuck.
But we've been making those jokes for about 2 years now, and I'm like, when's this movie coming? Like, we need that. We kind of need that movie now.
It's been a while, but Disney, they take their time with shit.
Yeah,
and they don't rush into things.
Yeah. Did you see there was footage of a Pixar animated cat? Ridiculous.
No,
nonsense.
I've never seen that.
It's a cat stretching out in sunlight, and like obviously you see like it stretches the muscles, and then the kind of fur ripples.
Yeah,
and it's like every hair caught in the sunlight. You know?
It's ridiculous.
This is nonsense.
I mean, you seen what they did with what was that movie with John Goodman, Billy Crystal, Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
like you know how John Goodman's character is the big sort of furry thing. They actually animated each individual hair.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
Yeah,
you wonder why Pixar movies take about 8 years to come out.
Yeah, I like the thing as well that they make a film, and then like in certain things, focus on certain aspects of the product. Like they want to make lifelike CGI at a ridiculous, like beyond the uncanny valley into respectable like live action imitation. And they've started like they take projects on and do stuff, and in the meantime train their staff on certain things. Yeah, like Toy Story was to do clouds. I was like, oh, okay. Like, and you go back, you look at the clouds in Toy Story, like those are really good clouds. Like, especially when you think about it when it was made. Like Toy Story in general looks amazing for when it was made, but you look at the clouds, you're like, holy fuck, that's a good cloud.
One thing that always amazed me about Pixar animation was the eyes. For how big they are and how detailed they are. I'm like, dude, that is scary.
Like the collector in episode, or the second one, where he's leaning in and he gets right up in Woody's face and you can see
the guy,
every little
the
detail.
sort of cleaner. Yeah, dude, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, him and the actual guy doing the collecting, like there's
like Big Al.
Yeah. Big Al's chicken.
Al's toy barn, yeah.
Big Al's toy barn. He's dressed up as a chicken, running around on a bit of stuff.
That was
it's time for a Toy Story rewatch. Is what we're saying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Usually I would say I'll get my niece and I'll go watch it. No, unabashedly I will watch Toy Story 1 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd watch 3 though, because 3 has a bad, like, leaves me with a bad memory, because I watched it in the cinema quite a few people run about my age, and every single one of them was bawling their eyes out. And all I got on the drive home / the McDonald's trip afterward, because when you go to the cinema, McDonald's was right there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I need to recharge. I'm going to go get a milkshake. And all I got after it was, why didn't you cry at the final scene? I'm like, it's sad, but I'm not going to cry over it. And they went, but it's Andy giving his toys away. He's giving Woody and Buzz away. I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's sad, but I'm not gonna burst out greeting over a film. Then I went,
he's doing something nice for the girl.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's passing the torch. I really dig that shit. That's a good that's a proud moment, prideful moment.
You're proud of Andy doing it.
Like, dude, that's a fucking grown up, evolved moment. It makes everybody think, giving up isn't such a bad thing. If you're passing it on, fair enough, it's not for you anymore, but other people can get the benefit of that. That's the positive message of that movie.
Yeah.
I turned to one of my friends who I knew for a fact, like, yeah, he's not going to cry. He's going to be in the same way with me. He's going to get the philosophy behind it. He's going to get the message behind it. I turned to him. He's crying like a fucking prom queen. He's going, it's so sad the way. I'm like, dude, you're killing me.
Why are you gasping? Why are you gasping?
I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. He was just, every time it was like, the little girl was so happy. I was like, dude,
like, yes, well, you should be.
It's like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's a
heartbreaking
it's
moment.
A fucking hard hitting moment, but it's completely undercut with the scene not too long before where they accept fucking death.
Yes,
like that's why I didn't cry at that movie, because I'm like, wait, hold on, they're grabbing hands, they're looking at each other, saying this is the end. No, fuck you.
Yeah, that one that's harder. When I saw the end of it, I was like,
were they going to hell? Was the furnace an allegory for hell?
Yeah, that harder for me than like giving away the title. I was like, that's nice. Like the adventure continues with someone else. It's fine. It's not Andy. There's not much more we can do with Andy.
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be weird if he was still playing with toys at the age of like 25.
He's sitting there at 28. He's got a bib and a helmet on, just going buzz out. Yeah,
I graduated college and I'm a cowboy. Like, Andy,
he's
what's
sitting
wrong?
on the rocking horse going bang bang.
Well, just like they did with the rocking horse, because that like it'd be up to his shin, and then he'd have
He's
to like
kneeing himself in the chin, just
yeah, I'm a cowboy. Yeah,
Mom, Capri son. Yeah, no.
But the going to death scene was a lot harder. Like, hitting them for me, and I'm not gonna lie, Avengers Endgame, that one's gonna be tough. I'm gonna be sitting there going, yeah, I know, like what we're doing here, like, because that's the thing. I've noticed that I'm really bad for that. With like anime is getting really good at it as well. Fairy Tail does it really well. My Hero Academia does it phenomenally well. Mm-hmm. Hard, like really heavy duty music that we're very familiar with, like being consistent throughout the series. Mm-hmm. So like opening songs and like Shonen's really good for it. Like they take the opening song, and they play it during boss fights. Yeah, and you're like, oh shit, this is like that's the oh shit, it's getting real moment. Yeah,
prime example, One Punch Man when he's fighting Boros. You hear the One Punch song.
Yeah,
the opening song. Yeah,
but the like Fairy Tail does it a lot with Dragon Roar and stuff like that. There's a lot of different tracks that they play, and it's consistent throughout the entire show. Yeah, so when they play it, you know it's going real. Like, and they did it recently with a character not dying but giving up her power in exchange to save someone else, and she got the music despite not being a member of Fairy Tail. And you're like, that means so much. The music being played at that moment, you're like, oh wow, they really programmed that into me, didn't they? They did a really good job.
It's now just entrenched in my head.
But when they in My Hero Academia, they did the movie, they put one of the songs in there at the very end, and it was like, whoa! It's like you're white knuckling it just because of the music. You're like, this is it. There's no, and I get the feeling Avengers are going to do that. Like, we're going to get that kind of brass orchestral swell, the one that you hear every time the Avengers are all together on screen. That's going to play at some point. Now we're like, oh no, what's going to happen? Because this is the end game. Yeah, something has to end here. Yeah, and if someone gets hit in the face at the wrong time when that music's playing, it's a death knell. Like, that's it. Yeah, everyone's damage doubles. But everyone's health halves during that music. We know that. It's just a fact. Yeah,
it's the double XP of.
Speaking of shit that'll make me cry, Violet Evergarden. Don't think you've watched any of that.
I remember you talking about it.
It's one of the shows I love, and they've said that there's a movie for January 10th, 2020. Okay. That's like that. I'm like, wow, January. I'm going to have to wait all of 8 months. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, yep. I can wait that. Yeah.
Fine, you can do that.
Especially when they said there's going to be a small side story coming out like in between now and then.
Yeah.
Just to... I don't even know if it sets up the movie. It's just like, we had other stuff we wanted to do. Yeah. It's coming out, so that'll be great. It's a weird one. The small story is called Eternity and the Auto Memories doll. And I'm like, ah, shit, what does that mean? Because she's the Auto Memories doll. Why is she contemplating forever? This is not okay. Yeah, that one, I don't know when that's coming, but I mean, the fact it's only 8 months away gives me plenty of time to just kind of rewatch the entire series and then just get absolutely like kicked in the throat by episode 10, I think it is. Oh, yeah. 10 is the worst one. Somebody got to episode 9 and was like, man, that hit me hard. Don't think I can keep watching them. Like, if that hit you hard, oh boy.
Yeah, you've got much more to go.
Episode 10 is going to hit you tomorrow and you're going to cry.
Speaking of hard-hitting anime that will probably make you cry for a different reason, you watched Ultraman, didn't you?
I thought you were going to go with One Punch Man because we've been watching season 2 of that as well.
I've not been watching that. I've seen good things.
If I can just throw out the recommendation, people were bitching about the season 2 trailer for One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Rightly so. It's a bad trailer. It's really badly cut. There's random cuts to black. It don't make sense.
All right.
There's nothing like that. I was watching it, this is crap. Who the fuck made this? And the usual thing happens with the anime community where they pause randomly throughout the video and look at this in-between frame. Like, you're not looking at a main keyframe of animation. You're looking at the like doodle between keyframes. That isn't an indicator of the quality of the animation. I hear nothing now that we're up to episode 3. And we've had 2 really good fights. First one being Genos versus Speed of Sound Sonic.
All right.
Seen season 1?
Yeah, I know Speed of Sound.
Yeah. Speed of Sound Sonic, for those of you who don't know, is a ultra fast ninja.
They get punched in the balls.
It was the most detailed animation of someone's junk getting moved around by a fist. You're like, why did you put this much effort into someone's junk?
It was so good. You kind of have that.
You get the kind of cringe from all the guys in the room. He's come back and he's now more determined than ever, but he doesn't realize that he's been training really hard, but so is everyone else. Like, it's one thing that keeps like missing some people in certain shows. But there's now no commentary about the animation after that fight because it's gorgeous. Yeah,
I've seen a few things that people were saying, oh, there's a definite downgrade in animation, but then more people are seeing the fights and just going, oh right, this is where the budget was.
Oh yeah, the walking scene wasn't the like focal point of the animation team's hard work this year. Yeah. Like, yes, it's not done by Studio Madhouse. Yes, the animation will change. Yes, it will change styles with the studios and the lead animators not being involved anymore. But it will still be a studio's best work because they saw what happened with season 1 and know that that's where the bar is.
Yeah, that's the benchmark.
And there was the fight between, this week, episode 3 was Tank Top Master. Literally, there's a literal family of heroes that go around wearing tank tops. Yeah. And just like, there's the first guy that gets the shit kicked out of him is vegetarian tank top, and he's just carrots on his t-shirt. And they all just walk up with like tank tops like, yeah bro, big muscly hero, I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. And then it turns out they're fighting a kung fu master, someone who's like One Punch Man has trained to the point of ridiculousness. Yeah. And it's quite weird though, because Saitama is almost flawless. Like, he never seen him get beaten up, with the exception of maybe the fight at the end of season 1.
You don't really see him take damage though. You see him getting thrown around by Boros, but you don't see him take physical damage.
When you see this guy this guy gets punched a lot. Like, he takes some big hits to the face. And, that's interesting that it's almost like it's being showcased. Like, this guy can take a punch. So when One Punch Man shows up and he takes a punch, it's not going to be that surprising. But he's been mastering various kung fu arts, and he's like, from early episodes, is like, I go around just kicking the fuck out of dojos. And you're like, you mean people at dojos? No, dojos. The whole building. I just punch the building.
Fight everybody.
I fight everyone. The Grandmaster, punch the building as well. Fuck it, I don't care. They show him, and then they bring in Tank Top Master and hit all his squad, and they throw punches around for like half an hour, but he wrecks everything. And one of the worst scenes they've done is one of the karate master's pupils was recently told to fuck off. He was like, look, you're no longer part of my dojo. You're slipping. I don't care anymore. Get out. Yeah. But it's because he knows that this killer is coming for the dojo and him, so he's hoping to save the student by kicking him out. The guy ends up going to find the killer to hope to try and deal with him before he gets to the master, not knowing that he is going to be destroyed. And that kid hides in the bushes because he realizes what's going on. He's like, oh my god, he's going to actually kill everyone in the tank top bros. All 20 of them. Not a joke.
All 20 of them?
All 20 of the tank top bros.
I still remember there was Tank Top Tiger, Tank Top Black Hole.
There's a lot more.
Fucking hell. Jesus.
But they all kind of show up and confront him, like, we're going to kick the shit out of you because you're trying to kick the shit out of heroes. And he's like, okay, try it, bitch. They then just cut to the karate master hiding in the bushes while they play the sounds of them getting the shit kicked out of them. and there's a lot of wet meat noises, and you're like, oh no. They come back to the two karate masters finding the scene the next morning. One guy's punched into a concrete wall. Everyone else is just on the ground broken, including the student who apparently at one point says to get up and just give it a go. I mean, yeah, that guy wrecked 20 like huge dudes.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you may as well give it a shot.
Yeah, but your karate kick, that'll be the one to do it. Yes, the guy hit him with a fist the size of his chest, but your karate kick will do it, kid. Good luck. So that's, I mean, the show itself has returned.
Yeah.
We're now back into it.
I'm finally looking forward to them getting to the episode with King, because I did actually read the anime.
Oh,
I did read the manga. Sorry, fuck, I said manga. I said the wrong thing.
You didn't also push up your glasses. I've actually read the manga, please.
No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit.
We'll get to those motherfuckers.
Yeah. No, I did read the manga, but because a friend of mine said, "Oh, the show's great, but read ahead a bit and figure out some of the characters."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, cool, this character." So I'm expecting King to show up, because King's story is fucking hilarious.
They've actually started King. King is episode 1.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, King.
Nice.
Well, he's been introduced before.
Yeah,
but
you
now
see
they
him
actually
when the
give you
Association of
character
Heroes.
time. Yeah.
Because the sort of character time, the focal point of his story is fucking funny.
Yeah.
He's just there.
They've already revealed that he is a hero by accident.
Yeah.
He never meant to be a hero. He never meant to be the strongest, but he keeps just being in the right place at the right time, credited with all the victories. He doesn't actually like fighting.
No, the King engine. That, like, they say they hear this pounding noise whenever the King's about to fight. They call it the King engine. It's just his heart beating.
Yeah, it's just his heart just going, oh shit, we're gonna die.
What you're actually hearing is the noise of cardiac arrest. Yeah.
No, that's episode 1, just because
Really?
he's now appearing. He's now friends with Saitama.
Oh, cool.
Like, they just hang out and play video games.
He gets his little squad.
Yeah, he's obsessed with video games. Like, he just sits there and, like, you'll have Saitama as well, who's just obsessed with. Who just sit there in the corner being like, unless he has to go out to the shops, he just wants to sit there and play video games.
Yeah.
And occasionally go out and do some hero stuff to, like, keep his rating up.
Keep his rep up.
And he's just kind of like, I don't care. And then King will come over and be like, dude, did you steal my game? You said you wouldn't do that. Did you take it? Yeah, I took your game. Sorry about that. All right, just give it back to me when you're done. I also deleted your save file. You what? It's great. Like, the comedy's so rich in the show. Like, it's just a little character moment.
Yeah.
Between groups of not quite accidental geniuses, but accidental superheroes.
Yeah. With
Like,
the exception of Genos.
Genos, who, like, but Genos
Such a fucking tryhard.
Genos is a straight man. That's the like his
Oh
whole
yeah,
shtick.
you need him. He needs to be the Dan Aykroyd.
You need a comedic foil for that one. But he's coming on as well. Like, he had a comedic moment in episode 3 as well. It was like, good for you, Genos. You're getting there.
You're softening up a bit. You're not a.
It was by accident, but you made a joke.
Yeah.
It was but you Ultraman.
Yeah, Ultraman.
The One Punch Man was a brief cameo, and I'm like, that was the last. Like, that was 110% my focus for the last 5 minutes. I wasn't supposed to be talking about it for that long.
I'd say, to be fair, after finishing watching Ultraman myself, I wouldn't want to devote that much time to it, because animation wise, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Fights, pretty fucking awesome as well. But at the same time, characters, you're just thinking, I am not invested in any one of you.
I have a great love for Studio Polygon, because we've been watching their stuff for a while now, and as I've said before, with the Godzilla movies, you see them go from strength to strength with each project.
Yeah.
Ultraman is their next level. That is, they're like going from like individual Marvel movies to Avengers.
Yeah.
They've just made a lot of progress on their animation style. This is them with almost what seems like uncontrolled budget in a way. Like, everything looks so much better than previous
everything
stuff.
looks clean.
I did enjoy. There's not a lot of characters. You say, like, we were texting back and forward. And I think it was just giving you updates like, fuck this person. Oh, fuck, they're at it again. Oh, really, fuck this person again. Who the fuck is third person?
Oh, the effeminate one is.
The effeminate one's on Ultraman 2. Fucking great.
Yeah,
We're just sending each other texts like that, and as you say, animation great.
Yeah.
Story fun, I guess. Like, the idea, like you say, passing the torch, the legacy of Ultraman. But then when you get down to the actual character who becomes Ultraman, you're like, I really wish you wouldn't. Like,
can you give someone else the Ultraman factor, because they might be more interesting? But I'm not invested in Shinjiro at all.
Yeah, Shinjiro was just the most milquetoast motherfucker on the
He
planet.
was so boring.
It's a weird thing of, like, he actually has his own character moments, so it's not like you can say He's an author. He's the insert character. He's for you to think, I could be Ultraman too.
Yeah, he has
He's
his
just
own moments.
crap. He's
just a bad character.
Just wet bread.
Yeah.
So I just look at him and think, wet bread.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at his love interest, the idol that I'm pretty sure has fucking brain damage. She's not well.
How does she not get that he's Ultraman? He literally runs around the corner and then just like taps on his watch or some shit.
He does,
and then Ultraman flies out of the thing. He says, at one point, they're at a cafe because that's Japanese
coffee, yeah.
teens do that for some reason.
Got to go and have a coffee.
Scottish teens just go down the Dean and drink. That's what we do, right? That's our getting coffee. We just go down to a park that no one actually can see from the road and just drink.
Yeah.
These, like, they're out to get coffee. He says, I'll run and quickly phone Ultraman.
Yeah.
Leaves his phone. Leaves his phone. Runs around the corner. From that, like, the alleyway he runs into, out springs Ultraman.
Oh, she follows him.
And she's like...
She picks up the phone and goes, oh...
I should give him his phone so he can phone Ultraman.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's when she finally clicks. Like, she almost clicks, but you can see it takes her a minute of just standing there and being like, wait a minute.
You can see the equations.
it's just the gears turning in her head. And you know
let's give her some credit. It's not even the gears, it's the hamster running around the wheel.
The CPU is at 99%. There's steam coming out the ears.
The loading screen just...
I think Shinjiro's Ultraman.
Shinjiro might actually know who Ultraman is.
Like, ooh, close.
Almost there.
I'll give you that one. Technically, he would know who Ultraman is. You fucking bimbo.
She's fucking dumb. She actually kind of reminds me of Relina at some points. When she's actually...
Okay, yeah.
When she's shouting, saying, Ultraman, you need to take credit for your actions. Then minutes later, she's like, Ultraman doesn't kill. Ultraman does kill. I changed my mind.
Ultraman will kill when it's necessary, but not me.
No, I would have said Ultraman can't kill me. Like, oh, there is only one Ultraman, except there's three. I'm like, you don't even need to be there. You're just such a fucking useless character.
I'm actually glad that she disappeared before the end.
Yeah, she fucked off.
She fucks off about episode 9 or 10. I think that's about right. 9 or 10 sounds about right. And show's 13 episodes long, so you get 3 episodes of the now 3 Ultramen figuring out their position and figuring out what it means for them to be Ultraman. And we ended up on Team Asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know how this happened, but we were all supposed to root for Shinjiro.
Yeah, you're supposed to root for Shinjiro, or you're supposed to root for what the fuck's his name?
Shinjiro's dad.
No, not the blonde one.
The effeminate one.
The effeminate one.
Yeah.
Fuck's his name?
I can't remember.
Hakuto? Not fucking know. The other one.
Let's call him Naruto. He's blonde.
Let's call him Green Ultraman, because I'm pretty sure he has green eyes. You're supposed to root for one of those two. You're not meant to root for Moroboshi, who's the kind of, I don't care, I don't need a team. He's the Shadow the Hedgehog of this entire series, but you're just thinking...
And yet more likeable.
He's more likeable, and he actually has more character moments.
I had thought about this because I wrote it down. I was like, it's really funny that he's been Ultraman for longer than Shinjiro.
Yeah, and he has an older suit.
He's been doing it to pay the bills. He has been professionally Ultraman to pay the bills, do the job, get the job fucking done, go home, fuck your wife, do whatever. Right? It's his job. And yet, all of a sudden, out comes the prodigal son. Prodigal son. Comes out of fucking nowhere and all of a sudden says he's Ultraman and he knows how to Ultraman better than the guy who does it for a living. Yeah. And all of a sudden we're supposed to believe the kid is the right one to listen to. Fuck that. Moribushi's right. If Ultraman wants to kill, Ultraman gets to kill. And if he does it with the katana, it's just cool. Alright?
Badass.
He
doesn't need no special beams.
Yeah, he just shows up with a sword and goes, I can just move fast and cut you with a sword real good.
I just have more armor. Yeah. I'm not afraid to cut people down.
Yeah, and it was...
cut off the gay one's arm. Fuck it.
I did like the fact that because they have Naruto, I'm going to call him Naruto. Naruto Ultraman, the blonde one.
Yeah, the blonde Ultraman.
Has mechanical limbs. So they tear him apart every couple of episodes.
Yeah, they just rip them off.
At one point he loses the arm to Moroboshi. At one point, like, his final battle, he is just getting the shit kicked out of him.
He's getting his shit pushed in.
They forgot that, at one point they forget they're only allowed to go for the limbs because that's the point that's mechanical. And they just start hacking into his chest.
Yeah, they just start stabbing him.
At one point you're like, whoa, this needs to calm the fuck down. And I went looking at a couple of the voice actors because you mentioned Steve Lim is Abab? Or is it Adad?
He's the Star Cluster Council detective motherfucker.
He's the black and white guy that shows up and holds
He's
an
the
entire
alien.
stadium hostage and then just kind of says, "Well, I'm done here," and leaves.
Yeah, he just goes, well, I've paid this bill, I'm away.
Well, I've done my job here. Good luck cleaning this one up. Bye. He just zips out the
See
way.
ya.
Phenomenal voice acting.
Yeah.
And the other one that I really enjoyed was the Killer Commander, the guy in the white at the end, the mercenary leader.
Yeah.
He was. I've actually looked at him, his voice actor, and if you look at what he's done, I think he's one to watch. Like, if you look at what he's done, he's appeared in different shows across Netflix and Funimation stuff. But he was at one point, he was in Studio Asia's dub of, Dragon Ball Super. And he was voicing Piccolo and Tien.
Right.
I need to, keep an eye on this guy. So he's been doing a lot of stuff, and you're like, oh, wait, I recognize him from that. And, oh, yeah, he was a good voice in that. And he's good dramatic.
The other
voice.
Ultraman is called Seiji.
Seiji. So Naruto.
His last name's Hokuto, so yeah, fuck it, why not?
But you end up on the side of Team Asshole.
Yeah, it's...
What was the deal with Edo?
Edo was an old enemy, like an old sort of enemy type from the original.
Yeah, because they mentioned that, but more
show.
like his voice acting was super weird. I
think that's just meant to be. I always equated it to this is an alien learning English.
Yeah, his enunciation was really weird and stuff. Like he was doing it, and we're like, that's a great portrayal of an alien. But I'm so glad you don't have a mouth, because his character is just a weird black shape with like a cross and an eye in the cross.
Yeah, it was.
But his voice acting was so weird, and it put me off at times. Like I would just be like enjoy the show, and all of a sudden he'd come and go, "Do you know?" And it'd be like just randomly you hear his voice coming, and you're like, "Oh, what the hell was that?"
Yeah, it's weird, but
it's a weird stops he took as well.
Yeah, it was. I think for me it was because he was voiced by DC Douglas.
Yeah,
and I'm a fucking huge fan of Resident Evil. He voiced Wesker in Resident Evil, so it was always just kind of. I get it.
Yeah, it's just.
I thought it was pretty cool.
It's a great performance of a weird voice. It's just the weird delivery and the weird pauses and stuff. You're like, it's really like, could you just go with a bit more dramatic reading? That'd be great, please.
Yeah, if you could just ramp it up a bit.
Yeah, no, it'd be fine just to have the constant monotone, super bassy voice, but not have those weird breaks in place. It's like his brain's trying to calculate what it needs to say to get through the situation. Then you realise it's because he's running this weird network of intelligence that feeds all the Ultraman information in.
For me, the only thing that took me out of the show was when you seen this alien with the weird cone head and the weird kind of antenna radio feeder thing, just in a business suit and gloves.
Yeah,
that's weird, man. I can't really do that.
I do like the little hidden alien civilizations.
Oh yeah, the little alien slum camps things.
Yeah, and the alien blacksmith guy who was like, yeah, I'm kind of the most important person in the entire story, but I hide out fixing radios, so, deal with it. I'll show up at episode 11 and explain everything that's going on to you, but at the same time, just don't pay really too much attention to me.
I'm only there. But he was another one of those, I was in the original series, and I'm here as a cameo for the people that watch the show.
Yeah. I'm the inside reference.
Yeah. I'm the reference that all the people watching this aren't going to get.
If you're doing the abridged version, that's what you're going to hear. I'm the inside reference character. What's up? I'll show up every couple episodes to remind you this is still Ultraman.
Ace. I found the character that you're talking about. There's no fucking voice listed here. Fantastic.
Which one?
The Ace Killer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had to go into one thing that's called Behind the Voice Actors.
All right,
that's a pretty good way of doing it. Because
I usually do that, but I mean, I can't be bothered looking through.
They have a lot of because they don't most of the time. So you look at these shows, it's all the anime stuff. Like there's the anime voice actors always listed, but they also do DC stuff as well. So you can see like where they've appeared in like DC animated stuff, and I think they do a lot of video game stuff as well. But that's like a different section.
Yeah, I usually use them to try and find out who's been voicing certain characters, because a lot of times in video games you get all the names just like voice actors, and it's not they voiced this character, it's just this is all the voice actors.
Yeah, voiced by, and it's just like a scroll of text.
Yeah. So if I want to find out who's voiced and what, it's usually in here.
There's a I really don't like using MAL, my anime list, because it's a great service. The only problem is it's for the weebs.
Yeah,
it is literally just a list. It's a good tracking service. I'd use it to track all the anime I watch. But then if you watch the English dubs, all the titles are in Japanese. So you have to figure out what the Japanese version of the show you're watching is. Luckily though, they're smart enough to know that if I type in the like, I'm trying to think of a great example of this, but I'm trying to think of what the best example would be. If I type in the English name of a show, it will actually have the common sense to show up as being. So, for example, I just started watching Isekai Quartet. If I type in Isekai Quartet, it does give me the show, but it gives me the Japanese name, and I just have to kind of be like, I guess that's it. Yes.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Not a big fan of Isekai Quartet though.
All right.
It's weird that this thing failed. It is a combination.
Right. So I just figured out. I found who the voice of Ace Killer is.
Yeah.
It's the same guy that voiced Noctis in Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
And
do you remember his name?
Ray Chase.
Ray Chase. There it is.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the guy's voice, but he's getting his name put out there. But he always plays this. He always uses the same kind of voice. He's a bit.
I like it. It was a good cocky, arrogant voice of like the supreme, almost immortal commander of a mercenary squad. I want that guy to be a little cocky.
Didn't you think? Because when I got to the final episode, I didn't actually realize that was the final episode. I was like, "Oh right, we're wrapping up." Oh. I was expecting another couple of episodes.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get another season.
Oh, we're getting another season because there's one other Ultraman that we haven't seen yet.
Ooh.
Do you remember Jack? The guy that's introduced to just having a bare knuckle brawl with the giant Godzilla thing?
Yeah.
He's an Ultraman.
Oh, okay.
But he's this weird kind of tank Ultraman. Because
but he's also the only grown up in the show.
Yeah.
Other than like somebody's dad. He's literally he looks like an alcoholic though. I'm waiting on him having like a really tragic backstory.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to drink in the Ultraman suit. Because you know how they could peel the helmet back?
Yeah.
I went for him just to open up a tiny little mouth, but drink, close it.
The hell was that? It's my suit's special ability.
Yeah, I can drink in this suit. What can you do? Hand beams? Fuck you.
Cute hand beams, kid. Here's what I could do. Foam dome. Just put on the construction hat with the beer bottles. Tube it in the mouth. Suck it, bitch. I can.
I can keep drinking in my Ultraman suit. What can you do? Oh, you got a little sword. Me.
Ooh la di da.
Fuck you.
Yeah, just quick. Isekai Quartet. Not worth it.
Not a good show.
It's weird. It's 4 of the best shows that we made in the last couple of years at the Isekai genre. Overlord, which I think you've seen some of. Saga of Tanya the Evil, which was a really fun show, about a guy being transported to basically World War One. In the body of a little girl.
As you do.
Who's also a wizard. Because World War One involves wizards now, because fuck it.
It's just so many layers to that character. And she's transported.
And yet it's a weirdly simple to follow show. Like, I never thought about it that way, but like all of it, you're like, yeah, this makes sense.
This tracks, I get this.
Yeah, I can see how you reached that conclusion. Makes a lot of sense to me. On with the murder.
Continue with the war.
Oh, she's also in a bitch fight with God. Seriously, God sent her back to the other universe, and because he didn't believe enough, because he was an atheist, and he decided, fuck you, I'm not playing by your stupid rules.
I'll send you back in time, and also, you're a 12-year-old girl.
Fine, make me the little girl. I'll just be a badass little girl. See if you can stop me now, God.
I'm also a wizard.
Because I'm a wizard now. It'd be great as you're going through. I'm going to send you back. You're going to be a little girl in a war-torn country. You'll be an orphan. Nobody's going to love you. And I'm a wizard now. You can make it up. I just did.
Motherfucker.
Try and stop me.
I'm a don't.
ReZero, which is a really weird isekai anime because the guy dies frequently. In the most excruciating ways possible. At one point, he's torn apart by dogs. At one point, he bleeds to death in an alleyway after being stabbed for his fucking his pocket. Not the classical escapist fantasy you were expecting, especially not when somebody smashes him in the face with a mace.
Oh fuck!
Whoa!
This went to that direction.
But it's good though. It's a really good show. Yeah. I'm waiting for more of that in the English dub as well because I've got 12 episodes out of a 25 episode series. Fuck is my other isekai? And Konosuba, which is one of my favorite animes of all time, just because it's so fucking stupid and goofy, and it's a comedy anime because they've all been transported into one world with the same kind of chibi art style, and they all have to go to high school together because fuck it.
Anime always involves a high school.
Literally because fuck it. And it should be really good. Like all these characters are really good. They all have moments of great comedy. But right now, because we're only 2 or 3 episodes in, the comedy is basically, haha, isn't it funny that they're all together? And haha, aren't the characters from Konosuba really stupid? And I'm like, yes. But that's the point. The characters from Konosuba, they're all stupid and they're all shitheads. You're not supposed to like these people. Nobody's rooting for them. They're the dickheads of the team. but it's not working yet. I kind of it's getting like 2 more episodes before I just say yeet and drop that thing.
Yeah.
So it's a hard sell right now. I don't know why. Because on paper, everything about the show should work. I love every individual show. They even have the good choice of making the really creepy guy from ReZero into the class teacher, who has all these really weird like pronunciations and stuff. Like he keeps elongating random vowels for no reason, and it's just because it's a character thing he does. He would just show up and say, "Okay, pupils, time for another class." You know, okay, creepy guy. Can you stay away from school kids, please? That'd be great.
You need to stay away from school kids because that tag that you're wearing on your ankle is going to start beeping. I had a similar experience with that recently. Someone kept telling me, "Yo, you need to watch this show. You need to get back into this show. It's going to be fucking great." I think there's The Walking Dead. Someone told me, "Oh, dude, you need to get back into The Walking Dead." I was like, "Nah, I watched it up till season 4 or 5."
I think I took it to season 6.
And I just thought, "Nah, I can't do it." And I went back and I watched one episode from the latest season. I just kind of thought, "No, this is not good. Negan is not enough to get me back into this show." Could not do it.
No, I took it to season 6, and by the end of season 6, I was physically fed up with the show.
Yeah.
And that was arguably its greatest point. I was like, this could be the start of the new season. I just thought, I'm not tuning in for we're season 9 now, and I'm like,
So like that.
I'm just not tuning in for another 3 seasons of this, which is going to be another 36 hours.
Yeah, something like that. And I think they dropped Rick, and they're continuing the show with Daryl as the main character, but Rick is doing 3 spin-off movies.
Okay.
Like, that's how you're holding Andrew Lincoln by the short and curlies.
Yeah.
Or you're throwing money at him to try and
get him. What do you have on him?
Yeah, like, do you have a child, his wife and child? Do you have them held hostage? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird one though, because when you think about the show, in the books or the comic books, Andrew Lincoln's character was dead at like the first not the first books. I've read that one, but that has stuff that happens like 4 seasons later in like book 1.
Yeah,
the exact same way it happens.
Oh, they do pick and choose for the show. They pick and choose what happens because Glenn doesn't get killed by Negan in the books. I don't think. Glenn dies way before that.
Yeah,
but I think it was because Stephen Young, people liked him, so they kept him going. Yeah. I think the only surviving members of that little group is Carl. He never dies.
Yeah,
or at least I don't think he dies. Michonne, Maggie, and like 2 or 3 other people, including Rick. Everyone else in that show pretty much gone. Daryl, long gone.
Yeah,
like I'm pretty sure Meryl, he dies like midway into what would be deemed the first season on the show. In the book, he's just long gone.
Yeah.
So they did definitely. I mean, with an adaptation, there's always going to be different things change, but nah.
Sometimes it's for the better, but the fact that he's leaving the show to do the movies, you're like, hey.
Yeah, I think he said, and that's I want out of the show. I just want to be written out, that kind of thing. And then they went, "Oh, but could you do these? Would you stay and do these?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do these 3 movies. I'll do this 1 movie. Can you do another one after that? And just maybe 1 more after that."
See, the thing for me is, though, that if you did the Walking Dead movies, I think the Walking Dead movies, because the world itself, the Walking Dead, is so bleak, so minimalist and survivalist, it would be one of the best zombie movies we could get.
Yeah.
Because their world is filled with the slow walkers that just kind of like shamble around the place, and it's about this constant dread. The idea of taking that to a movie would be nice, because our zombie movies are either ridiculously ultra violent, where it's just like violence for the sake of it. Like the zombies are so strong they can pull people apart because the director thought it'd be a fun shot.
Yeah.
That's the current state of most zombie movies now, or the infected of some kind of weird way, and it's too action packed. Whereas The Walking Dead can't be that because resources are so scarce. Like you can't run in blasting a 12 gauge shotgun because you probably break your wrists. Yeah. Because I reckon that would happen in a Walking Dead storyline, but you can't do that because also you can't risk that noise. And you can't waste those shells. Yeah,
because everything's such a luxury commodity. I personally think the only way they can really end The Walking Dead now is if they just have, the main group moving from one place to another, saying, right, we're going to hold down here for as long as we can, and then you just time skip it to maybe 3 years later. Yeah. Resources are thin, there's just walkers everywhere. Show that, because this has all been a struggle against a conclusion that can't be.
Yeah.
Like, it's all struggling is inevitability. You know they're going to die.
Yeah.
You know that the resources are going to run out. But it's just how long can they stave it off? And in terms of the show, I don't know how long we've got left. But in terms of in reality, how long the show itself has left, I think it maybe got 4 more seasons at best. Because I think we're going to see a major drop-off in popularity the minute Angela Lincoln's character officially leaves.
Yeah, it keeps having, like, drops.
Oh, I think he's actually left. But I think when Norman Reedus takes over as the main character, I think popularity is going to go way down.
Unless he nails it.
Yeah, unless he nails it. I mean, there is always that possibility that we could get another 8 seasons of, Daryl Dixon-led Walking Dead before he leaves. Then we get another downturn.
Yeah. Or I mean, we could just get the Supernatural situation.
When it never fucking dies.
It is now ending at 19 seasons. And you're like,
19 seasons.
lads, a salute to the service, but wow.
That is 14 seasons longer than it should have went. It had the perfect end in season 5.
That was when they threw him into hell, right?
That's when they threw him into hell. He made the ultimate sacrifice, and at the end of it, you see a kind of ethereal-looking Sam. To me, it looked like this was a kind of ghost. This was him looking on from wherever the hell he was. He made the ultimate sacrifice, and now maybe he'd gone up to heaven or something. And you just see him looking in on, a happy Dean.
Was that it was like 6 months later or whatever.
Yeah, 6 months later, you see Sam looking through the window, and you're like, oh, please just let that be.
If that had just been like the ghost, that'd have been nice, but
like,
that's not what happened.
Nah, then it's just that's him rised out of hell without his soul. Then we get the very, very bad Leviathan series.
But outside of the Leviathan series, everything else is there. Just kind of like, I'm okay with that. Yeah. I mean, if you end it there... I
stopped watching it season 8.
If you end it there, you don't get Castiel gradually becoming human.
Yeah, and you don't get Castiel becoming human, then becoming God. Then becoming Ultra God or something. I don't know. They just escalated. Then you don't get the Scooby-Doo special.
They took it right down. Like, he goes from... he becomes more human. He then becomes, like, a hardcore angel, like, evangelizer. He's like, look, we're just dumb humans. You're all fucking stupid. And then he becomes God. And then he gets smacked right down.
Really?
Like, they just go, what you did was heresy, and you are now almost not an angel.
We're stripping you of... What is it they call it in the show? Your grace? Because remember there was the episode where they find the angel, like, oh, I want to go back into heaven, but I don't have my grace anymore.
Yeah. Their way of looking at mythology, because they were just layering shit on top of other shit, was so much fun. They were just like, this kind of works, and this kind of works, and, well, if we make up a language that explains all this, I guess it all kind of... We don't have to write anything down that makes sense, so therefore it can all just say it's God's language and call it Enochian, yeah?
It's all God shit. Then we'll add in alpha monsters. Then let's bring the monsters back. People like the monsters. Like, really? People don't like the monsters. People just don't like the end of every monster hunting episode being about them sitting at the side of a lake with a couple beers, just being like, dude, we can't be like this anymore. Yeah. We have to be brothers. What would Dad say?
What would Dad wouldn't say shit.
Play the Bon Jovi.
Let's drive off to listen to rock music. Okay, guess we won't have to have this conversation again in the next episode. God damn it. But 19 fucking years.
19 seasons. That is a shift. And that's got to be tiring for the guys that are playing Sam and Dean.
There's there's like... With that type of situation, that is so rare. There will be nothing like that for the next couple of years. No. You want to talk about a vacuum, there's a fucking vacuum.
But personally, I think the minute CW finish Supernatural, they're going to turn their attention to yet another fucking superhero show.
They have so many...
Because Arrow's finishing as well. Talk about, Supernatural running out of ideas. I've read on the internet through, like, comic book resources. You ever use that site?
No.
Right. It's a pretty good site. Some other stuff is just kind of... It's mostly, like, this is what happened in this issue. This is what happened in that issue. But I use it to kind of keep up to date with, what's going on with the CW shows, because I can only watch them once they're on Blu-ray. Okay. And I haven't really watched them in a while. But they were talking about how the CW is basically cutting across the board a lot of their shows. So Flash is still going to continue. Supergirl's, I think it's doing one more season. Arrow's doing one more season. Legends of Tomorrow is doing... I think it's finished. I think Legends of Tomorrow might be gone. And they had a couple other shows that they were doing that are now gone as well.
Right.
So the only shows going forward are going to be The Flash and Batwoman, because they're doubling down on fucking Batwoman.
Okay.
But then, on the reverse of that, DC themselves, they've made the Titans TV show, and they're casting their own. So I'm thinking that DC are pulling a Marvel and just going, no, we're going to cancel the contracts with CW so we can put them in our own shit.
I was just about to ask you, what do you think the odds are on this being the same? Now we've officially had the Disney thing confirmed that it'll be like a Disney streaming service and stuff that'll take
DC
all the Marvel stuff.
already have their own. They have DC All Access, or I think it's called DC All Access, or DC have their own streaming service.
But what do you think about? I think they'll take all that property, shove it on there, and build that and push that.
Yeah, they're definitely going
to counter Disney's thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're going to.
Although you're fighting the mouse.
Yeah, you're fighting the
you
mouse.
ain't gonna win.
And the fact is, Disney Plus is going to be available in every country. DC's All Access is only available in America, which I think is dumb as fuck. But we then get all the DC shows on Netflix. So if I want to wait on season 2 of Titans, I'm going to have to wait till the end of the fucking year to watch it on Netflix. Whereas people are going to get it in little people are going to get it episodically over a couple of weeks or over 12 weeks. You know, starting from August or something like that. But if I want to wait for the full booner, it's going to be fucking December, Christmas time, which I think is shite. But ultimately, if it means we get more Titans, I'm happy to wait.
Yeah.
Because Titans was a great show. And speaking of Titans, they cast their Batman.
All right.
Do you remember Sir Jorah Mormont?
Yes.
That guy is Batman. A Scotsman is motherfucking Batman. We are living in the best timeline.
Okay.
The actor's name is Ian Glenn. So actually, the name, when I seen Ian Glenn cast as Batman, I went, that name rings a bell. Because I seen it on Twitter. I just seen you know how you get notifications and stuff on Twitter. It didn't come up any images or anything like that. I just seen Ian Glenn cast as Batman in DC's Titans season 2. So I went, Ian Glenn, that name rings a bell. So I went and googled him. I was like, Edinburgh, Scotland. That's fucking Jorah Mormont.
Now this is interesting because I saw it was talking about Gotham. Gotham are ending the show. Also this season. And the finale will feature their Batman.
Yeah, they're getting a totally different Batman.
Oh, I was going to say, would it not be good if it was their Batman?
No,
if it was Ian Glenn.
But no, Ian Glenn is playing an older, almost kind of Dark Knight Returns type Batman from what I've seen. So he's definitely, because he's an older dude. I think he's maybe early 50s.
I don't think he's, maybe. Like he would, I was thinking about him at the start of Game of Thrones.
We're talking,
and I
think he might be 48, maybe very early 50s.
Yeah.
But he's still playing an older Batman because Batman's meant to be 28 or something when he picks up the mantle or something like that.
Yeah.
But in Titans he's going to be playing Bruce Wayne, which I think, to be fair, I think he can pull off Bruce Wayne. The only problem is he's Scottish born but raised in England, so the accent kind of fluctuates a bit. My problem is going to be how well is he going to do the accent, because I got a problem with accents.
Yeah.
Bad accent can rip me out of a thing, which is amazing considering how bad Chris Pine's Scottish accent was in Outlaw King. It was kind of hard to listen to at some points. It was hard to understand at some points because he was trying maybe a bit too hard, but obviously it's going to be hard when you've got an American Californian accent almost, I think he has, doing a Scottish accent, particularly a Scottish in that time accent.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'd be very interested to see him play. The older Batman has been coming for a while. I get the feeling that's been on the cards just to give somebody a bit older a chance, because there's a lot of great actors out there. Just a lot of them aren't in their 20s.
Yeah. Originally what I heard they were going to do a Batman Beyond movie or Batman Beyond show, and they were going to cast an older Batman actor to play Bruce Wayne, because obviously Bruce Wayne's hung up the cape and cowl at this time. He is the man in the chair for Terry McGinnis, who's the new Batman.
Yeah.
And there was buzz for a long time saying that it was going to be Michael Keaton coming back and playing that older Batman, and I was fucking jazzed.
Yeah.
But then this was all just concept and stuff. Michael Keaton did come out and say, if it was going to happen, sure, I'd be on board. But even he said in the interview, it's probably not going to happen, because they wanted to do Batman again in some capacity, even though I think this would be the 4th time that they've tried to redo Batman, because you had the original Batman, then you had, it would be, if you count 1966 Batman, this is going to be the 4th different iteration of Batman, because we had Batman 66 movie, and then we had the Tim Burton Batman, then we had Joel Schumacher, Michael Schumacher, the German racer. No, we had Joel Schumacher's Batman, then we had Nolan's Batman, then we had Batfleck. So that's 5 different iterations and interpretations of Batman. Then we're going to do another one at some point. Do we need to stop doing Batman? And then refer to last week's episode for my thoughts on that. But
five iterations over like 60 years though. Not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but I don't think any single one of them got it fucking right.
Yeah.
As much as I like the Dark Knight trilogy by Christopher Nolan, not a single one of them got both aspects of the character right. I thought it would just be an interesting little aside thing. I can't wait to see. Like, do you think, from what you've seen on Game of Thrones with Sir Jorah Mormont, do you think he'd be a good Batman? Do you think he'd be able to do it right?
Good Batman in his later years.
Yeah.
But
I think he is putting on the cape and cowl though.
yeah, oh yeah, but like he's still be Batman, but like slightly older Batman, like a Batman whose knees kind of don't bend right all the time. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to play more refined, older Batman, because that's a good thing about it. When he gets older, he gets a lot more reflective. Like he realizes that there's some stuff like it would have been a lot easier if I just killed the Joker.
Yeah.
If I'd found a legal way to do it, like, oops, I accidentally left him on the train tracks, you know, with 2 broken kneecaps. Oops, isn't that a shame? That would have saved a lot of pain. But I think if you want to talk about like Batman with a resolve, like he could pull that off.
Yeah, I think he's a good enough actor to pull it off, and I think the people behind Titans and DC themselves, because the people that have been making Titans for DC streaming service are the same people that are making Flash, Arrow, Supergirl and stuff for CW, and they understand characters.
Yeah,
they might not understand casting of certain characters at some points, but they understand certain characters. So I think they're going to say, right, we want you to do this, and they're going to work on the accent, and they're going to get the necessary aspects of their Batman down. And I think in a universe where it's Dick Grayson is no longer Robin, it's now Jason Todd. So there's that. I always see that Robin is a reflection of the current Batman.
Yeah.
So Batman, the original sort of stint of Batman was with Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is this hopeful, cheerful, positive outlook on things. You get Batman as he kind of gets on with it. He gets Jason Todd, the more brutal, more violent type Robin.
Yeah.
So that kind of needs to reflect Batman a bit. So I think Batman needs to be this kind of more willing to take it to a more darker, violent place.
I'd be more worried about who his villains are.
See, that's the thing. I think that's one thing we don't need to worry about.
Yeah.
Batman has
the saving grace is that you're restrained by TV budget.
Yeah, you're restrained by TV budget, but I think Batman has the best rogues gallery in comic books to date.
Well,
so,
yeah, it's got good villains, but like making sure that the villain shows up on screen and is cohesive with the tone of the story.
Yeah.
Like you can't just have like a really interesting, dramatic character reflection and then in pops Harley Quinn.
You need to have, if you're going to have a more contemplative, reflective Batman, I think you need to have intelligent villains in there. I think you go Riddler, I think you go Penguin, you go Joker, you go Mr. Freeze, but don't make him like the horrible Halloween fucking costume Mr. Freeze that they had in Gotham, because that was painful.
Yeah.
And the guy was just, because Mr. Freeze is meant to be...
I think Penguin would be a good one.
Yeah, Penguin would be a good one, because Penguin...
He's all about manipulation.
Yeah, he's all about manipulation, kind of altering things. But again, do Penguin properly. Make him look more Danny DeVito, less skinny dude from Gotham.
Actually cast Danny DeVito.
Dude, I'd be all about that shit. You fucking kidding me?
Tell me, bring back
Get the trash man in there.
The trash man.
I get in there, throw trash all around the room.
I just start eating it. Why?
I'm just start
eating it. I'm the trash man.
Yes, get the trash man in there. That'd be fucking great.
But
finally give... What's the guy that plays Sheldon Cooper in The Big Bang Theory? Do you know his name? Jim Parsons.
Yes.
Get that motherfucker in there as the Riddler. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, he's got the weird, tall, lanky body proportions. Like, he
but
just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, if he changed his voice a little bit, though.
Yeah.
The Riddler's meant to have this kind of swagger to him, but having that weird nasality that he has in Big Bang Theory, don't think it would work. But
he can act around a couple of different things.
I think he'd be perfect as the Riddler.
Sit him down, show him previous stuff, and just say, look,
this is what we want you to be.
We need you to be a bit more open, confident, cocky, to the point of like you're going to try and you think for 99% of this thing you have the greatest detective completely outsmarted.
You are meant to, you exude the fact that you're better than the Batman.
But we need, when you're making a show with like a reflective Batman, you need the kind of sommelier of villains to kind of like pair the villain with the hero.
Yeah.
So they're going, the bouquet of this one's a bit wrong because she hits people with the giant mallet.
Yeah,
maybe we don't use the giant crocodile man. Maybe
we don't use Killer Croc in it all, bro. I think, to be fair, you probably could do that. Like, have them just show them that he can still throw down, so that they can still fight. Maybe have a fight with the Killer Croc. But you want to combine those two worlds. My favourite Batman villain of all time. Get Bane in there. Bane is the... I'm going to gush on Bane for a little bit.
Not full steroid
Not
Bane.
steroid Bane. I'm talking 6'8", not like maybe enhanced.
Yeah.
Thinking Justice 2 type Bane.
Yeah.
He wasn't massive, like huge thing. He had the venom in there to kind of enhance his senses, maybe kind of make him feel...
Well, for Injustice, everyone had to be up on Superman's level. So.
No, for Injustice, for Injustice 2 specifically, they scaled everyone down, made everyone look more human because they were going for that photorealistic style.
I mean, like just the Injustice storyline. Like everyone needs to be able to throw punches with Superman and stuff.
But I was going more for the
video game stuff,
the physical, like how people looked. Because Batman looked a bit more bulky because he was wearing a lot more armor and he physically had to build his body more to stack up against other people. Superman, like he looked huge. He looked fucking jacked because again he was meant to be able to lift the earth if he wanted to, so they beefed up the character a bit. But with Bane, they toned them down because you've played Arkham Asylum, right?
Yeah.
And they had this huge Bane when like the massive shoulders and he like kind of the tiny body. It looked like this out of proportion kind of weird gorilla thing.
Yeah.
But they toned them down. They made him look just this huge kind of wrestler dude.
Yeah.
But he had the Venom in there to kind of enhance his abilities and stuff like that.
Because that's my thing with Bane is when he looks normal, he should look like a really big luchador wrestler.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he should look like. I'm not a fan of huge monstrous Bane.
Yeah.
I think it works better if it's just, he's a big dude, but then the Venom doesn't like build out his body or anything. All it does is it sharpens its senses and makes him a bit more aggressive. That's how Venom should work in my mind.
Whereas if you look at some places, they're like, he takes the Venom, he just inflates.
Yeah, he becomes the Hulk.
And becomes the size of a building. He just punches cars to get them out of the way when he can't get through because he's fucking massive.
Yeah. But the beauty of Bane, done correctly, is if you get Bane in the Nightfall setting, in the Nightfall comics, for those that don't know, and I'm going to hazard a guess and say that you don't know what the Nightfall comics are. But
guess correctly.
in Nightfall, which is my favourite Batman story of all time, Bane is basically, he's looking to make a name for himself in Gotham. So he says, oh, who's this Batman? I will break the Batman. I will break him physically, I will break him mentally. So Batman is kind of burning the candle at both ends. He's putting every criminal in Gotham City behind bars, put them in Arkham. He's finally kind of cleaning up Gotham, but it's taking a physical toll on him. He's slowing down, he's carrying a few injuries. Bane says, I can't beat him physically until I've beaten him mentally. Yeah. So he releases everybody from Gotham, from Arkham Asylum. He releases everyone from the Gotham Police Department, and he hides in the shadows until Batman has picked them off. Then when he realizes that he's at his lowest point physically, and mentally, he goes in there and then beats them physically, breaks his back, puts him out of commission, and says, I've now broken the bat. And that, to me, the intelligence and the brutality of Bane makes him the best Batman villain of all time. The Joker's good. He goes for mostly physical. He never really tries to break him mentally, except in certain,
certain storylines,
like Killing Joke.
I'm done,
when he says, I can't beat him fist fight, or I can't stab him or shoot him, I can't blow him up, I'm going to go after his loved ones. But more often than not, they come out okay, or Batman comes out okay, maybe a bit more remorseful, but more often than not, it doesn't really have a lasting effect. More Bane, he just went, no, I'm going to take him to his lowest point and I'm going to throw him further.
Yeah.
So if you take that from Titan, if you take that from Nightfall and just say, right, then what are you going to do against this version of Bane?
And he's a character who will fit in like a couple like design modifications and stuff. Yeah. Take that away, replace it with some other stuff. Like you can actually make that character fit in a TV show, especially with a TV budget.
Yeah, personally, I think Bane works better when he's minimal. All you need, perfect Bane costume, black boots, like military black boots.
Yeah.
Pair of black military cargo pants and a tank top, all black, and the luchador mask. You need to get the luchador mask down. To get Bane proper.
The Tom Hardy chemical inhaler mask doesn't quite work.
It worked for The Dark Knight Rises because you get the sense that this was keeping him alive.
Yeah, and it makes him look like he's part of a paramilitary organization.
Yeah, it made him look intimidating. But with the luchador mask on Bane, it shows him that that's part of his history because he was Santa Prisca prison. That's when he was born and raised, and he was a wrestler back then.
Yeah.
His mother was taken into prison. He was born in prison, and this is all he's known. He's basically serving a life sentence for his mother. And then in the prison, he was known as he became big, he became huge. He was the wrestler. Then when the Venom experiments came up, he went, "Sure, I'll do it."
Yeah.
So yeah. There's I could go on for fucking hours, but Bane, he's the best Batman villain of all time. I don't get people say, "Oh, but the Joker, oh, but Mr. Freeze." No, Bane, motherfucker.
The Joker just gets bored. I'm sorry, but there's only
you don't even need to say sorry. I totally agree with you 100%. I'm burnt out on the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. There's just at a certain point they're two they're perfect comic book villains.
Yeah.
But they're comic book villains.
They're overused.
It's like, you're never going to expect what I'm going to do. I'm pretty sure I can hazard a reasonable guess at what you're going to do.
Does it involve a bomb and or some kind of Joker toxin?
Yeah. I've gotten to a point of frustration with a meme in the anime community. It's from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And the joke is, you were expecting X, but it was me Dio.
Yeah, the Dio Brando.
It's so ubiquitous now. I've got bad news for you, sir. I expect Dio every single fucking time. Same issue with the Joker. I wonder who this could be.
You thought
it's the Joker.
You thought I was Black Mask? No, it's me, Joker. Oh, fucking really?
Oh no, who could have left these chattering teeth right? That was part of Arkham.
Arkham
part
Asylum.
of Arkham games, like, who could be doing this? There's literally chattering, laughing teeth everywhere.
It got so bad in Arkham Origins. When you're playing a younger Batman, this is Batman like month 6. If anything, he's a very, very green Batman, but he's looking through sort of crime scene, trying to piece things back together. And it's like, who is this maniac? What is his name? And literally in the corner, there's spray paint, like graffiti saying Joker.
Good evening, sir. I am the Joker. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. This crime scene is mine. I'm rather proud of the work I've done.
You're sincerely
Who could it
Joker.
be?
It's like, I get you're meant to be playing a green Batman, but for fuck's sake.
Green Batman does not mean mentally deficient Batman.
Alfred's just sitting there with his pointing stick, just going, "Now, Master Bruce, what does this say?"
Now, young Master Bruce, we call this evidence.
Joker. Who's Joker? No, Master Bruce. This is one word. There's no comma here.
No, Master Bruce. This is one word. We'll find the episode title.
No, Master Bruce. Legos don't go in the nose. I mean, you got to imagine at some point Batman, Bruce Wayne just went totally off the rails. Like when he was a child, they just, Master Bruce, get off the chandeliers.
That's the thing is, that's important to forget, and it was brought up with Michael Caine, was that he raised Bruce. Like, he just took him in, like, he raised him in the mansion and said, "You're the heir apparent, I'm a guardian. I will raise you to be a man of upstanding character to represent your parents."
Yeah. It was kind of a kick in the balls to the character of Bruce Wayne that in the latest run of comics, Alfred was almost quitting.
Yeah.
He wrote his letter of resignation and he was leaving the house hours, like minutes before he got the phone call saying that Thomas and Martha Wayne had died. So he was ready to he was just ready to fuck off. I was like, well, faithful companion,
Well, one thing is that it's happened a couple of times where, like, if there's an ethical issue in Batman, it's represented through Alfred.
Yeah.
Alfred says, "Master Wayne, this is not what you were doing.
Yeah.
This is not who you should be. This is not what your parents would want."
He's always the moral compass.
Yeah. When he says, it's like with Lucius Fox in the Dark Knight. It's like when those guys are ready to leave you and they don't believe in what you're doing, you fucked up.
Yeah, you've majorly fucked up.
But at some point in that, like, childhood, Bruce must have fucking lost it.
Yeah, he just
Swinging
went,
from the chandelier, like you said.
just throwing priceless,
Run around pissing on the fucking furniture.
I own all this. What are you going to do, Alfred? What are you going to do? My name's on the title deeds, bitch.
Alfred, I'm 10. I have $20 billion. You know what I can do with that? I can buy so much shit. I'm really interested in candy. I want to find out what cocaine is.
Alfred, Pennyworth, get me cocaine. No, Master Bruce, I said get me cocaine.
Alfred, the tiger's here. Master Wayne, what tigers? I ordered tigers.
I ordered 7.
There's 7 tigers. They're coming here. I'm going to be Tiger Man.
At that point, Alfred's just throwing bats through the window. No, you will be Batman. Hurry up and get this shit on done with.
Alfred threw him down there to hide him from the tigers this week.
He's just like the pivotal. Can you imagine the pivotal moment when Bruce Wayne is sitting in the chair, like the moment where the bat comes crashing through the window? It's just Alfred going, "I've had enough of these tigers."
Our canon of the show is so much worse than the original.
Oh, dude. I'd love to just write a version of Batman where it was Alfred trying to get Bruce out of the house. Just, oh crap. He went on about bats when he was younger and he's dead set on this superhero thing. Maybe if I throw a bat through the window, I'll take that as a sign. Yes, I shall become a bat to honour the dead member of my father. Hurry up.
I like the team of throwing the bat through the window. First one doesn't work, the bat just kind of flops up against the window.
Squeaks down the window. So what was that noise?
Just down the window. First one's like, what the fuck was that?
Damn it, I need to break the window first.
Next one's got a small rock tied to it.
Bruce opens the patio doors to lead up to the balcony and it's just, why are there fucking so many dead bats here? Alfred's just like, don't pay attention to those, Master Bruce. Also, I'm your father.
I think we take a quick break.
Yeah, I think we need to.
I think we've went a little bit off the deep end.
Yeah, we have.
We'll return with more shit from the deep end. And we're back from the deep end. Turns out just a lot of like weird bandages and piss in there.
Yeah, and that one flotation thing that they try and teach you how to save someone from drowning. That's just been left in there.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, it sank too. That's not a good sign.
They all sink.
Is that a bad noodle or bad water?
Yeah. It's the opposite of the message in It. So it's not they all float, it's just they all sink.
We all sink down here. Welcome to Gibberpish, where we all sink down
We all sink down here. It's Pennywise the clown, but instead of the floating balloon, the balloon's just drooped. He's got the sad clown makeup on. And the speech bubble is just, Alexa, play the sad Hulk music.
Alexa, play sad Despacito.
Oh, dude, don't get me started on that fucking song. You know what that song's all about? I've got a few Spanish friends and they translated it for me. It is the dirtiest song.
Oh yeah, it's about getting laid, son.
It's all about just fucking bitches slowly. It's literally the song. Like the chorus is something along the lines of, "I'm going to take you home and I'm going to fuck you slow."
That's the thing is, I actually enjoy the Spanish version, like the all Puerto Rican version, the one without what's his name, Justin Bieber. It's weird that I can't remember his name. Like, he is one of the biggest pop personalities on the planet. Don't fucking like him, but he's still like. Imagine if you didn't like Michael Jackson back in the day.
Yeah,
you'd be like, how can I not remember Michael Jackson's name? Now we can never forget his name for different reasons.
Yeah, no.
But wait until that comes out for Justin Bieber. It's gonna be bad. But yeah, like the version without him is actually quite fun. Like, it's just fun to just throw on and just have it in the background, without him butchering the fucking lyrics. But then, like if you go and read the translated lyrics, like, wow, this is on the radio everywhere.
Yeah, kids should not be allowed to listen to this. I
mean, we don't teach enough Spanish.
Spanish needs to be a language over in Scotland.
Yeah. I wanted to actually briefly mention, how much do you know about MKBHD?
Nothing.
Tech channel from YouTube. Go and watch that guy's like kind of channel like studio tour. It is absurd. Now, he has always had like this ridiculously high level quality of production.
Yeah. And
I've seen him in interviews talking about how the fact he films on like Red Weapons, which is like the cinema lenses that they use for like the Avengers and stuff.
All right.
Or it's not lenses, they like camera
So he makes
systems
YouTube videos using these.
Yes. And he does it because he is future proofing. Because those things film 8K.
Ah, right.
He can upload in 4K. There's a few channels that can do it. YouTube isn't like cross-platforming the 4K footage yet. But he says he wants the footage there so you can go back and, you know, in the next generation, like 8K is becoming more of a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Stadia, the Google Stadia thing, thinks they can make gaming in 8K at 60 frames a second. I have my doubts.
Yeah. Although that said, the PlayStation 5 specs that have been bouncing around for a bit, they're boasting that it's going to have 2 terabyte SSDs with 8K capabilities, like 8K output capabilities. I'm thinking that's going to be pricey if it's true.
I read there's a weird thing of like people are saying, yeah, we've seen the case. No, you've not. I'm sorry. There was a good thing on, it was Polygon, who've been on kind of fire recently. I mean, we talked about their BioWare article last episode. But they've kind of seem to have been digging around some places and finding out some interesting bits and pieces. But they had an interview. They had a guy go out to a kind of closed interview about specs for the thing, and they just had a small conference room. They had a prop machine set up, so it was all the capabilities of what a PS5 will be able to produce. It's air quotes PS5, by the way. Nothing's been announced as far as them. But come on, PlayStation aren't dumb like Microsoft.
Yeah, they're going to make another console.
They're not going to rename it with like a weird naming structure that doesn't work when you think about it for more than 5 seconds. Seriously, why was the Xbox One X not remaining the Scorpio? That is the coolest fucking name.
Scorpio's a pretty fucking cool
Xbox Scorpio. What are you playing? We're playing with Scorpio tonight.
Scorpio, bro.
Not my Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm having like a stutter halfway through the sentence. But the terabyte should have a lot faster loading, or the SSD should make it a lot faster load, which has been a main criticism of PS4 and PSD games. I think that the processing chip is fairly impressive, and they're going with AMD again, which is good, because I don't think Intel works on consoles.
No,
I think people have tried and it did not work.
There's some horror stories.
And the graphics card they're saying is going to be in there is like, how did you get that?
Yeah, that doesn't work.
It's an alien spaceship technology shit you got going on there, and the fact that you think you can mass produce this, and someone's like, oh, it'll be out in 2019. No, it won't.
Will it now? E3 is going to be fucking huge this year if that is the case.
Yeah, 2020. Like they've said, somebody pundit was like, it'll be out in 2019, and Sony have said in this thing, they'll be like, it won't be here, and it'll be here 2020.
Yeah,
not sure when, but 2020. So from that, I'm guessing late 2020. So you can have E3 there. you can just bombard everyone and say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next generation of PlayStation. Here's everything we're unleashing, and they just unleash hell because they get dev kits out at certain studios.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good move. So I'm guessing, my initial prediction when I read that was they are 14 to 18 months out. And I think 18 months is probably about right if you want to have that E3 hype festival, get out some journalists' copies of PS5 so they can play PS5 games. That timeline makes a lot more sense.
It is good that they're having backwards compatibility, because that was the biggest issue for me with the PS4. I had a lot of PlayStation 3 games that I wanted to keep playing, but at the same time I had the PS4 there, so natural thing is you replace them. And the fact that you couldn't play PS3 games on PS4 unless you downloaded them. No, wait, I don't even think you could download PlayStation 3 games. If you wanted to play PlayStation 3 games, you had to keep your PlayStation 3 about, which pissed me off.
Especially since if you had a PlayStation 3 at that point, it was probably almost dead.
Yeah, if you had I got a PlayStation 3 late, which was good for me price-wise because everything was so fucking cheap.
Yeah.
I think I picked up a lot of really good games for pennies. Again, using the shop CEX. Going in there and picking up 4 PlayStation games for under 20 quid was fucking great.
Yeah.
But
so make your bargains, but yeah.
Talking about tech channels, I did actually watch Linus Tech Tips videos. I think it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
He did a video about making an arcade cabinet.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
When he gets the old CRT television, he gets a multi-board in there so they can load up different versions of games like multi-emulators and stuff. You can play all things, and he puts light guns on the side.
Yeah.
I was watching this video thinking, I want to make an arcade cabinet. I'm never going to be able to because it's going to be fucking expensive, and this guy's got money to do it. But
yeah,
I fucking want to make one.
Yeah,
I had to stop watching because if I finish watching this video, I'm going to start looking at prices. I'm going to go on eBay and I'm going to try and buy one.
Linus is a weird way of accidentally selling you tech. Not the tech he's talking about, just tech in general.
Yeah.
If you watch though, they did a series. They do a lot of like cheaper things because they review a lot of the top end products, and we'll talk about that in a minute because I forgot about the Galaxy folding phone nonsense that's been going on.
The fault.
We'll talk about that later. But the if Linus' videos or anything go by, you will end up just buying random crap to see if you can make it work. Yep. They had one video where they were like, let's just make the cheapest possible PC we can buy on Amazon. The guy doing it bought literally just, I need motherboard cheapest, like RAM cheapest, not in a graphics card, processor cheapest. None of it worked. None of it fit together. Like the components were incompatible, and you're like, how is this guy not fired? I spent the entire video going, like, he has other writers, like he has a staff, he has a group. Like this video only works because half of it is Linus going, you know that doesn't work with that. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, that chip is 10 years older than that motherboard. How is it going to fit together? Well, surely the motherboard... No, it doesn't. You've got a motherboard for a server from 1980. It does not fit with a CPU from the 90s.
This particular CPU was featured in the movie Die Hard. It does not work.
And it was one of the videos I'm like, how the fuck are you not fired? But the MKBHD thing, just look at the amount of shit that guy puts into videos. Like, he has a camera on a crane. That's just watch his studio doing. You're like, what the fuck are you people doing? It's amazing, and it gives you the weirdest tech boner of all time. And the one thing that I really took away from it is the tripods he has.
All right.
He has, like, normally with a tripod you have to like lift up the whole thing, loosen the legs, pull down the legs, retighten the legs. This you can operate each one individually, and it's literally just you lift the lever, you pull the thing up to where you want, and the rest of them just adjust with it. It's nonsense. I watched the thing. I'm like, that's sorcery. Like, fuck all the other things. That is sorcery.
That is wizardry.
But yeah, he's been future proofing for like with 8K footage, just in case he needs to go back and make like compilation videos in like 15 years or whatever.
How expensive is that going to be?
It's stupid. Like, I cannot imagine the amount of money it's cost him to set up a studio with this. I don't know who's funding it. I don't know who's involved. I know he does a lot of collaborative work with other people, and he has a huge following, and it just makes good videos.
Yeah.
Like,
I can imagine if they're shooting in 8K, there's got to be some production value in it.
He's worth filming in 8K. That's what you got to look at. And he's very brand like he has his own kind of style. It's all very like friendly. It's not like he's running like smashing shit. Although he did, he's actually started a YouTube original series.
Okay.
Where he's going back and reviewing old tech. First thing, Game Boy. The original thing. I never owned one of these.
Oh, as in the original grey?
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
The grey plastic block. And he was talking about the history of it all. He interviewed some people. It's a really weird clip though, because he has like a 3-second, like almost half a second clip almost of Matt Bellamy talking. Matt Bellamy from Muse.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, okay. I'm like, wow,
well, he's talking about the Game Boy?
Yeah, like, you got Matt Bellamy. Like, that must, like, he must be in this thing, like, for a serious interview. That's it. You see, like, one other clip of him. Like, how did you interview Matt? How did you get Matt Bellamy? Interview him about the Game Boy, and then not use any of the footage. Like, I'm hoping he pops up later, because I'd love to see Matt Bellamy's views on tech, because that's just an interesting thing.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting view.
If that's his thing, like, and we just don't know it, I'd love to know it. But he is, like, yeah, at one point they talk about the fact there was someone took a Game Boy to Desert Storm in the 90s, the operation in Iraq, and it got hit by a mortar strike or something like that, and it was covered in, like, it was melted, but it still played.
Yeah, that's in Edinburgh. It's up in Scotland. Yeah, so there's maybe in the UK. I might be totally just bullshitting this, but somewhere in the UK there's a fully working Game Boy that has been at war and back.
Yeah,
it's still plugged in. It still works fine.
Yeah, still playing Tetris, and they, so naturally the answer to that is, let's get Casey and Neistat involved, and let's get a flamethrower, and let's melt this thing. So they melt a Game Boy, and it still works. Like, it's not just like, oh, there was this one really lucky Game Boy.
Yeah, it still works.
These things just do that.
Yeah.
Who decides to just say, let's just get a flamethrower?
Yeah, contrast to nowadays when you get people who, if they leave their phone running too hot for 10 minutes, the phone just completely bricks.
Yeah. Before I talk about current tech failures, I think now it's time to talk about the Galaxy folding phone, where Samsung set out their new interesting double-sized phone. Like, and it's a new concept. I can see the application. Personally, I would just want the phone to just kind of sit up, and I can use the bottom screen for typing, and then I can look at the top
like a little mini laptop.
That's because I'm boring. Like, I'm sure there's other applications you can do, and especially with, like, touchscreen phones. This is just a giant touchscreen phone. The reviews of it were pretty good, and then everyone posted their reviews of their first 24 hours with the phone, and then everything started to break.
Almost instantly. I heard stories that people bought it, took it home and within a couple of hours there was errors. Like, they took the protectives, you know when you buy a new phone or any new piece of tech, over the screen there's just a little piece of cellophane that you can just take off the screen. It's a basic screen protector. Apparently on the Samsung Notes you weren't meant to take it off,
but nobody told anyone.
No one told anyone
on the demo versions. Apparently there was text on the like the public versions that would go out. The only thing is, MKBHD has good footage of, like, he did his review, he got one, he started playing with it, and he confessed that, look, I didn't know this was supposed to happen, but I pulled up the thing, and it started to go black. Like, I could see the screen going black, and it started off with, like, a thumbprint-sized area, then it became, like,
spread
a quarter of it, and then it became half this thing, and by, like, 6 hours later, the whole thing was just black and unresponsive, and I couldn't actually do anything with it. And then you have people saying, I just pulled mine off and it went black as I pulled it off. And I was like, that's strange. And then I tried to use the phone and it was broken. And it's now gotten to the point where Samsung just said, we're done. We're taking it back. We're going to work on stuff
as
behind
they
the scenes.
Fucking should. Did they learn nothing from the Note 7?
8. It was the 8 that exploded.
Was it 8 that exploded? Right.
The Samsung Note 8 was exploding on planes, and they're like, I think we need to take the phone back. Yes, no shit.
As someone's hand is on fire as they're using the Note 8. There's something wrong with this particular product.
Did you ever look into, like, the reason why?
No, it was something with the batteries.
Yeah, the batteries. There was, like, pins in the battery, like the protective layer of the battery, and they tried to, like, curve it around a certain way, and it was just connecting. Like, the inner layers of the battery were touching each other, and it was sparking. And that's why they were all combusting. You're like, holy shit.
Jesus, how can it go that wrong? I mean, when they go wrong, it goes wrong.
Yeah, and Samsung have done the right move there, saying the phone is now off the market, it will not be sold, we will just kind of deal with this in-house, and we'll release it when it's ready. And you're like, thank you for doing that before a bunch of, like, rich millennials ruin their fucking phones and we have to hear about it and all that stuff. It's like a $2,000 phone.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
$2,000 for two screens. And you just peel a piece of plastic off the top. They actually do note as well, you shouldn't put anything on top of it either.
Oh yeah,
like, don't put another layer of plastic protective over it, because I took my cellophane thing off and put, like, a protective screen over. Really glad I did it, because on my new phone it actually broke within 24 hours. I didn't do anything rough with the phone. I think I just put it on the bedstand or the nightstand at the end of the night and just went to bed. Woke up next morning, there was a crack across the screen. Really worried, because I may have been drunk at the time. I was like, oh my god, what did I do with my phone? And I went, wait, I didn't do anything. Like, it was in my pocket the whole night. I didn't do anything with it. I just put it down, like, on the bed at the end of the night, and it's just cracked from nothing. So, I mean, the fact you can't even have that layer of protection with the Samsung $2,000 phone.
Yeah, I'd be wanting to. I mean, touch wood, I've never really had that kind of problem.
Yeah.
I've never really used a cover on my phone.
Ooh.
I probably should. I've now just jinxed myself. But yeah, I've never really done that. I've never really went. I know the first thing most people do when they get new phones, I need to get a case, I need to get a screen protector. Yeah. I've never done that for any of my phones.
I broke my case as well. This was recent though. I just like there's a little stand on it, and I was watching something, and I went to like grab the phone to turn it off, and then like it just fell, and then luckily the stand just snapped off. I'm like, I can't fix that. Like the actual stand, there was a little bit of plastic in there that stick out, and that just completely shattered off, and I can't find it. So I'm like, gotta order a new one. So that's coming by Amazon tomorrow.
Nice.
Hopefully.
So is it the actual crack on the screen, or is it the crack in the screen protector?
For
on your phone?
Oh, for on my phone, no, it was just the screen protector.
Oh, that's not so bad then.
That's lucky. Like I hadn't like they come in a pack of 2, and I'm like, interesting choice there. Kind of tells me the first one is going to break.
Yeah, that's unnecessary levels of predictions. Just you're going to break this one, so we're going to give you another one just for free.
Yeah, this will backfire, but here's a spare.
Better safe than sorry, I suppose.
Yeah, but I just enjoyed watching all the footage of these journalists being like, I don't know what happened here. I think my thing's broke, and then other guys going, mine broke too. I just don't want to tell anyone.
The one picture that I seen pop up everywhere was the people that were holding it, and the right side's working perfectly, and the left side is glitching off and on.
Yeah, that one was weird. It was a strange, weird thing to happen to like people who are professionally interested or at least decent at tech.
Yeah,
and they all say, yeah, it's kind of screwed up. It's like that's kind of telling. Speaking of screwed up tech, here comes a new challenger.
Yep, here comes a new challenger. Play the music.
Here comes a new challenger.
And the music is played. This week it's kind of been a good week for the old fighting games, and again we haven't recorded in a while, but in between the last time we recorded and now, Joker has dropped for Persona 5.
Yeah.
And before we start talking about Joker, I want to talk about Persona 5. Apparently, Kotaku UK did try to do a bit of virtue signalling.
Right.
I can't remember I think the journalist's name is Katie Banks. She wrote an article, or someone sent her a message saying, could you investigate this? Joker's theme from Persona 5 apparently includes a disability slur. Apparently they say retarded in the song.
Oh yeah, I heard about this one.
So they flagged it up, they put an article out about it, and of course there was the usual, this wasn't the article that I put up, it was butchered and doctored by editors and stuff just to make it seem a bit more, clickbaity.
Yeah.
Apparently in it it's saying, this is totally unacceptable. A AAA gaming company like Nintendo and Sega putting out this type of slur in a game theme is totally unacceptable. What was the usual? I didn't read the full article because it just within minutes says it includes the word retarded, and I went, something seems off about this. It's a Japanese singer singing English. Are you sure you're hearing it right? Yeah. And within minutes, the comments are just saying, you're a racist. It's Japanese. You're a racist. How dumb do you think Sega are to include the word retarded in the game? And it's just this vitriol.
Who's Persona 5 put out by? Is it Sega?
Sega. It was originally Atlas, who were their own company.
Yeah,
but then
that was
they couldn't really support themselves. Then Sega just went, we'll let you do whatever the fuck you want. We just want to buy you.
Yeah. And Atlas, because they've got the established audience and the known ability to translate games from Japanese to English. Yeah. They've been doing it for decades. Like that's how America got Japanese games. Yeah.
Originally, I think the first sort of big budget RPG was Persona 1 on the PlayStation 1, and that was another. Let's translate this big, huge Japanese game in English, and then people really, really dug that.
For some reason, I assumed it was Square Enix, but yeah, Sega.
You'd assume.
Yeah,
but
I assume.
RPGs, you think
I'm
Square
racist,
Enix,
that's what's happening.
Yeah, and you're like Kotaku. Yeah. And immediately they started posting all these rebuttals, and then said, no, we didn't know, I was just going off a message. Then everyone's like, no, it does say the word retarded. And I went, no, it fucking doesn't.
It's a translation.
It got to the point where Atlas themselves and the Persona 5 Twitter, when they were getting bombarded with messages saying, what do you say to the fact that people are accusing your theme songs of having racial slurs in it? Their reply to this was, it definitely does not say the word retarded. That is all the air they were giving this current situation. But yeah, I thought you might have seen that, but it's definitely interesting to see.
It popped up and I was like, a game. I saw it after everything being clarified.
Yeah,
I wish I'd kind of seen it when it came out so I could kind of look into it myself. But I just saw a debunked article about mental handicaps because it was on Twitter. And Twitter is very, very polite, and everything, by the way, is sensitive material on Twitter. Like if you're now it's Game of Thrones season, first of all, half of Twitter is now Game of Thrones. Like anything trending is Game of Thrones related.
And as of Friday, the other half's going to be Avengers. I guarantee it. Maybe even before that, because people are going to midnight screenings now.
Yeah. I'm impressed it's not happening now with the 30 countries already having screens.
I think because I during the break I checked my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook just to kind of keep up to date, see if there's any other extra stories that I can add in. But most of the messages that I'm seeing are people that are paying for the 6-hour double bill of Infinity War and Endgame, which, I mean, your bladder is stronger than mine, but I could not do it. But yeah, I was just wondering if maybe the Kotaku UK, which has now been totally discredited, people are not trusting these guys across the board.
It got kind of smashed a little bit there because
definitely got smashed.
That was bad journalism to not go and, it's weird that they always put in the thing of, we contacted them and they didn't respond to us. I'm like, well, first of all, because you're a low tier journalist at a massive organization that not a lot of people can care that much about. Yeah, unless you're mainstream news, I doubt that anyone's going to rush to get an apology or a statement out to you that isn't just a boilerplate. Here you go, just fucking deal with it, kids.
Unless it's just a blanket statement, they're not going to go into any depth about it.
I just saw the now debunked article about a mental handicap slur in a Japanese game. I'm like, those guys misread the translation, didn't they? Yeah. Scrolling on, goodbye.
And now Kotaku are being called racist. But what's definitely not racist is how Joker plays. That doesn't even make sense, but fuck it, I'm sticking with it. How Joker plays in Persona is, he's kind of weird. He's a hybrid distance character because he has his gun. Yeah. He straight up has a gun. His neutral B move is he just shoots you.
Okay.
He just straight up fucking shoots you. The funniest fucking thing about this is, Kirby? Yes. If Kirby swallows a character, he copies their abilities. Yeah. With Cloud, he gets his B move. He shoots a sword beam using the giant Buster Sword. If he copies Link's ability, he gets the bow and arrow. Ryu, he gets the Hadoken. Ken, he gets the Hadoken. Yeah. So on and so forth. If he swallows Joker, he gets a fucking gun. So Kirby's sitting there with his little cancer nubs shooting a pistol. I'm just thinking Nintendo were too afraid to give Solid Snake a gun. But Kirby has one, and now so does an anime protagonist.
Does Kirby absorb the mask as well?
Yeah, he gets the mask. And
I was going to say, see if he didn't.
He gets the mask, the
red,
Beatles red, the Beatles do, and the red eyes, and the pistol.
I was thinking, because if it was just Kirby with a gat,
what now?
Memes.
It's fucking great. But
get in the mouth.
It's just like, get in. I got null space in here. You ain't ever gonna find your way out. Back to Joker. He plays very uniquely. He's got his good zoning with his gun, and he's got this ability that just it hits them for about 4% damage initially. So it's not really too strong, but it deals constant damage ticking over. So it's like a poison type thing. You hit them with it, and damage keeps ticking over. But his main gimmick is the more damage he takes, or the more of this rebellion gauge that he fills, the more of it he fills. I'll start that bit again. Once it's full, he can summon his persona, and the more damage you take, the quicker it fills. And as soon as you hit down B, you go into a guard stance. If you take damage in that fills up the rebellion gauge. Okay. Once you do that, you can summon your persona. And once you do summon your persona, everything gets buffed. Like the little projectile thing that hits and deals poison damage, that can go quicker, and it hits for a larger space, so you can catch more enemies in it. Your gun gets powered up. And instead of using your grappling hook as your recovery, you can just do this. You use your persona's wings to kind of jump back up on stage.
Alright, so pretty good.
But his gun can also be augmented. So if you shoot B normally, you can just shoot along. But if you shoot B, if you keep tapping B and then jump, you do this kind of bullet rain move where you like jump above them and spray bullets down.
Okay.
That move has pissed me off so fucking much because I've been playing online a bit, and so many people have been using it to knock me off the edge of the stage, shoot, then jump over me, and the bullets just hit me down. And the bullets have got some amount of fucking stopping power on them. It is ridiculous. And they deal 6% damage per bullet. And if you just keep holding B, you can just keep shooting bullet after bullet out. So there's a lot of fucking stopping power on there. But he is a new character. There will be patches and stuff to come immediately. But
they'll tweak him down a bit.
Yeah, they'll tweak him down. The one thing that does annoy me about him, though, is his final smash. His final smash, I predicted it way back when I found out Joker was going to be in the game. I was hoping that they would use his Persona's final form. In the story of Persona 5, I can't really remember the specifics, but he basically summons the full form of his persona. Everyone else's personas evolve throughout the game, but yours doesn't. But you basically find out that the true antagonists of the game have basically been kind of sapping your power. So they're using you as a kind of, we are pretending to be other people, so you'll give us power. But as long as we're here, you can't use your full power. And eventually, when he can tap into his full power, he releases a persona called Sataniel, which is this massive, huge sort of demigod-looking thing with massive sort of demon wings.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking, if they did something like that for his Final Smash, that'd be pretty cool. But what I knew they were going to do is they were going to do the all-out attack. Yeah, I think in Persona 5 and every other Persona game that you can think of, if you stun an enemy, there'll be a little icon that comes up that says, let's get him now, and then all your characters just basically just jump on him and start beating the shit out of him.
Alright.
I was like, that's kind of boring. I knew that was what was going to happen. I kind of would have preferred something a bit more flashy, something a bit more Persona-esque, but no, you're just doing the all-out attack where the characters don't even properly appear on screen. They just become little speed blurs and like start cutting them out, and it's kind of shit.
I guess it's maybe easier to do than have
It's
like
a lot
a
easier.
giant demon appear in the background.
Yeah, then just do some kind of Zamasu bullshit and start summoning lightning. But it's definitely easier to do. I mean, it works for the character. It wouldn't have been my first choice, but still, I'll take it.
I was wondering, I've seen things pop up from, all I've seen so far has been memes, but Stage Creator, that's apparently come out to Smash.
Yep.
Any experience on fan-created platforms?
A lot of dicks.
Yeah, a lot of dicks.
So many dicks. Because I went on there just to see maybe someone's created old levels, maybe someone's brought in new levels from other games. Let's see what they've done. Challenging levels. No, just all dicks.
It's all dicks and weeb waifus.
All dicks, and someone made. I mean, don't get me wrong. The people that are making stages that aren't dicks, are really, really well done, because people have made other like full characters in stages, and just had them as a hazard walking across the screen. So if you get hit with that, it could damage you. But then again, there are the same people that have made these really cool ornate statues, and they've just had dick, like dicks coming speeding across the screen and hitting you off the stage. Clearly, this is not what Masahiro Sakurai made the stage developer for. But if that's what you're using it for, go ahead. But I can imagine there's going to be some kind of filter put on it now. It's just if they see anything phallic or they see like the little spooge lines, like nope, off.
First thing I saw was from Konosuba, actually, was the character Aqua, who's a demigod, or the goddess of water, and at one point she's bent over shaking her ass, and somebody made the stage move to look like her ass.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with infinite possibilities, you can do anything, but that includes...
And if nobody's stopping you, why not do anything?
Why not do anything? Yeah, but I think there's going to be a filter placed on that pretty fucking soon. But, of course, with every new DLC character that comes out for any video game, speculation begins to arise as to who the next character is going to be. I'm still hoping that the leak that came out a while ago surrounding Smash Ultimate is 100% fake, because I do not want to live in a timeline where Minecraft Steve is in Smash Bros. Ultimate, but Isaac from Golden Sun isn't.
Oh yeah,
Minecraft Steve can fuck off. No, why? He does not need to be in this game.
Take that Xbox money.
Yeah, but
that crossplay, that compatibility.
I'd sooner see Cuphead and a Nintendo. No, that game did come out on Switch. So I mean, there is a chance that he might get put in the game.
Finger guns for the range.
Yeah, guns for the range. He has this weird like Hadouken thing that he spent. Like he fires at this massive sort of energy beam.
Finishing move, just scold them with boiling tea.
Yeah, the finishing move, the devil comes in and just takes you all to hell. Yeah. Fucking great. It
seems to be like it works. I think we should make it.
It writes itself. But yeah, if Minecraft Steve gets in there, I'm going to take a flight to Japan, find Sora Limited. That's Masahiro Sakurai's company. I'm just going to burn it down. You do not deserve this power.
We gave you everything. You took it from us.
You're my brother, Sakurai. No, I'm not quoting the prequels. Fuck you. It was just, no.
You were the chosen one.
You have done this to yourself.
You were the chosen one. You were really good at it for a while.
Yeah, dude. Smash Ultimate was a great game, and then you put Steve in.
Fucking Steve.
Fuck him.
When Waluigi is right there.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. If I was given the choice, Minecraft Steve or Waluigi, I'd take fucking Waluigi every day of the week. Fuck, why Minecraft Steve?
We're getting there, people. I'm finally winning him over.
It's still never going to happen. It's still never going to fucking happen. But
it's just you wait and see.
Just you wait and see. God, you happy with that one?
Yeah,
that's fair enough. As long as you can live with you.
I'm going to hell. Okay, we know this. This is true.
But
it doesn't matter how I get there; it's already happening. I might as well burn as many bridges as I can on the way.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to burn. You may as well get a tan when you're at it.
Yeah,
I can be your tagline. You're going to burn in hell anyway. You may as well get a tan while you're at it. Speaking of going to hell, don't know how this works, but
the Notre Dame fire.
Oh, it's getting hotter than a French church in here.
Yeah, that was my opening bit at my brother's. He had his engagement party. Congratulations, Michael and Lucy, if you're listening for some reason.
Yeah.
They had their engagement party. My opening bit was, "It's hotter than a French cathedral in here." In my defense, it was warm. It's not my fault. You people don't enjoy humor.
Yeah, you're the snobs.
I think you're the problem.
Yeah. I'm out here. I'm breaking ground.
I'm out here trying to change perspective.
Exactly. I'm changing minds.
Into worse minds.
Speaking of Hellfire, yeah, that's a link I'm going to use because Scorpion, Mortal Kombat, Hellfire. Well,
yeah,
it works. It doesn't work, but it works.
It just needs to get over here.
Yeah. Let's get this over with.
All right then.
Right. I haven't waited much for this. Sorry. The DLC. This is a leaked roster for the DLC characters for Mortal Kombat 11, which I've not really played much of. I fancied about in the crypt mode for a bit, which is just basically run around and pick up shit. It's basically just a dungeon explorer with no combat.
In a Mortal Kombat game, that's a good
yeah, but
mode
no,
to
this
have.
this is just, we're not going to reward you with, because there's so much other shit to get in the game. We're not going to say to you, fight eight different versions of Shao Kahn, then you can get a concept art. Nah, we're going to give you all the cool in-game shit by playing the game. But if you want to go to the crypt and find, extra in-game shit as well as concept art, yeah, you can go and run about the crypt.
Yeah,
picking up items and picking up the lore and stuff of the game. That's all I've really played. I've done one arcade mode run with Liu Kang.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning the game. It is a steep learning curve, but I'm going to fucking get there. Majorly disappointed with the special edition.
Right.
80 quid for a steelbook.
Ooh.
And the game. I don't know if I can really complain about it though, because I got the season pass with it. And season passes usually run about 30 quid.
Like Steelbook, kind of like if somebody adds price to that, it's like 5-10 quid.
Yeah,
a season pass though, yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I can't. That's why I can't really complain about it. I now have 2 codes for Shao Kahn though.
Okay.
I got one sent to me from Amazon, and I got another one in the game box. So if any of you Gibberpish fans out there have bought the game and don't have a code for Shao Kahn, hit your brother up. But the DLC list, or the current leak DLC list, is Shang Tsung, which is the sorcerer from the first Mortal Kombat game. Right. He's been confirmed.
Okay.
He's been played by the person that played him in the original Mortal Kombat movie.
Okay.
Which people are so fucking down for, it's not even funny. I'm going to get the Mortal Kombat characters that are on the list out of the way because they don't really mean all that much to me.
Non-Mortal Kombat characters?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So you've got Nightwolf, who's like a sort of Native American that uses these weird green energy axes.
Yeah. I think I've seen him in something.
You've also got Sindel, who is... she's queen of a realm called Edenia. She's this kind of weird revenant thing with a kind of high-pitched scream black canary type power.
Alright, it's like a banshee.
Yeah, like a banshee, yeah. I couldn't think of the word, thank you. She's got like these kind of banshee powers. And then there's another character, another elder god with the name of Fujin. You know how Raiden, he's the god of thunder?
Yeah.
Fujin's the god of the wind.
Okay.
So he's another elder god that's brought in there. And there's another character called Shiva, who's like, Goro?
Yeah.
She's a female Goro.
Yeah.
So think Goro with
I think I've seen her in previous things that came out. I think it was 10 maybe? She was in 10?
I don't think she's been in 10. I think she might have been in 9.
Right.
Like I said, I'm totally new to this whole thing.
Because I remember her costume being an issue at some point.
Yeah, it's literally just red cloth draped over a very tall, dark-skinned, muscly woman.
With like 6 tits.
No, she only has 2 tits. She has the normal human amount of tits, but double the amount of arms.
Okay.
And mohawk with
frankly
weird spiny eyebrows. Yeah.
Boo.
You didn't go far enough now, the Realm Studios, you cowards. But
make it again.
Start over. But the guest characters, because there's always guest characters in video games now. You've got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hellboy, Raiden and Sub-Zero and Injustice 2. You've got Geralt or Rivia and Soul Calibur 6. The guest characters from Mortal Kombat 11 are hinted to be the Joker,
right?
Because I think DC have just went, fuck it, yeah, hack him up. We don't care. We're not going to give you a superhero to cut up, so yeah, cut up the Joker. We don't give a fuck. The Terminator.
Okay, right.
Because they like putting, horror movie icons in there, which I'm fucking down for. Playing as the Terminator would be badass. Spawn.
Ooh.
Which fits so fucking well. I'm surprised it hasn't happened sooner.
Yeah.
But before I reveal the last one, who I'm unbelievably hyped for, in Injustice 2, Neo was meant to be in there. But contracts fell through. I was like, dude, how cool would it have been to play as Neo in a fighting game?
Yeah, I just have him don't do anything with him though. Have him just be Neo. Don't buff him up or make him a monster. Just have him be Keanu Reeves.
The final hinted DLC character from Mortal Kombat 11 is Ash motherfucking Williams from the Evil Dead series.
For a half a second, I thought you were going to say Ash Ketchum from
Ash
the Pokemon
Ketchum
series.
And Pikachu. Pika P motherfucker.
Pika! Just Scorpion just rips him in half.
He doesn't rip him in half, he just twists his head off. Tries to rip his spine out and he's just, there's not much of a spine there.
Rip his spine out by the tail. It's got the bits for your hand to go into.
Ash is just sitting there horrified. Pikachu? I'm only 10, even though I've been on TV for 15 years.
It's time to go back in the Pokeball.
He throws the Pokeball at Scorpion. Scorpion just spears him through the eye. See, I don't feel bad.
I'm disappointed it's Ash Williams.
See, I don't feel bad about talking shit about the Pokemon anime because I hated the Pokemon anime.
Go back and try and watch it now. It's hilarious.
I couldn't even stand it when I was young. When it was meant for me.
It's so bad. Every now and again, the Twitch watches Pokemon, and it's just randomly episodes of Pokemon, and I've watched 5 of them. I'm like, what the fuck was this show? How were we allowed to watch this nonsense when we were kids? The parents were right. That was bad.
Yeah, no, I remember vividly when I was younger. Sitting down to watch it, and my dad was sitting there with us, me and my 2 older brothers. Obviously, my oldest brother is quite a bit older than I am. He's just kind of like, I don't get this. It's just trash. At one point, we watched 2 episodes of it one morning, and the following morning, we got 10 minutes into one episode. My dad just went, and that's enough of that. And I always just went, no, I want to watch it. Then after a while later, I watched another couple episodes to myself, and I just kind of thought, even as a young child, Dad was right. I did not like that show, but then I don't think I like many of the sort of movies or the cartoon tie-in shows.
Yeah,
because I never liked Pokemon. I hated every aspect of fucking Beyblades. It was just
I don't think
fucking
I watched
spinning
any
tops.
of that, yeah.
I didn't watch any of them. As much as people did like the Jackie Chan adventures, I fucking hated that as well.
You're wrong.
It's coming back.
Objectively, you're wrong.
It's coming back with a movie.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess you probably don't have any opinion on Ash Williams being in Mortal Kombat, because I think it's pretty cool having Bruce Campbell reprise Ash in that way. I think it's pretty fucking cool.
Oh, it'll be him voiced.
Yeah,
okay.
If it is coming back, I assume the Warner Bros. Would go the full hog.
Okay, I mean it works, but I don't know how you put the chainsaw in there.
Oh, chainsaw! I mean, they had Leatherface in Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah.
So the chainsaw's done.
Okay.
They probably have them stances where you could switch to the shotgun and then switch to the chainsaw.
As a wet, if it was out constantly, but that can't really work.
Yeah.
He just literally everything would just tear people to pieces.
Yeah, I think if they do them right, they give them 3 stances. They give them shotgun stance, gauntlet stance, because Evil Dead 3 has the gauntlet, then chainsaw.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the best way to do it. Give them different stances.
Yeah, that would. You need to find a way to balance the whole kind of just a chainsaw goes through flesh.
Yeah.
As anyone who's watched enough random videos on Reddit will tell you, chainsaw accidents are the worst accidents.
Yeah. It's horrific. 50-50 changes a man.
Yeah, you see some shit.
Yeah, you see some shit.
Then you see some tits.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Then occasionally you just go, oh, look at the cute dog. That's some nice eye bleach. Oh, then next frame you're watching that same dog decompose.
Oh, that's why I needed the eye bleach.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think the longest time I ever spent on Reddit 50-50 was 10 minutes, because I didn't get the, more often than not, if it's not a true 50-50, it's most likely going to be the good shit.
Yeah.
I hit about 4 pages of just true 50-50s and got nothing but bad shit. It was like old women out for a walk on the pavement somewhere in America, and a bus just comes in, takes it out. Like, I did not need to see that.
Yeah, there's something
It gets rough.
That is just someone dying.
Yeah, like there was one. Someone drops a chainsaw on their head. I was like,
oh,
God damn it! I did not need to see that. Then there's the many penis torture ones that you see. Like some guy just went, I found some of these bolts, these 3-inch bolts. I'm gonna stick it on my dick. Like, dude, don't do that.
There was one.
If it fits, you're gonna feel bad, and if it doesn't, you're gonna hurt yourself.
There was one. It was just a random. There's one that I quite like. It's called "Kids Are Fucking Stupid," and just because I find it really funny when a small child wanders around and falls over. It's funny as fuck.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing about the fact.
As an uncle to a 6-year-old child, yeah, it's funny.
It's never not funny. Like there's even when they hurt themselves, you're like.
But more often than not, children at that age are made of
rubber.
The stuff that they put in bouncy balls. They're going to get back up, and more often than not, they're going to laugh themselves. But unless it's concrete, then yeah.
There was actually a good one of a kid at Disneyland falling and like they fell out of it and they tried to get themselves back up, but they were running to go meet Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
And then Stitch sees it and falls over as well to like make the kid feel better. Like, oh, I fell over too. Aren't we hilarious? And you're like, that's a good guy like in that suit. You're like, nice one.
You just reminded me of the horror story that I was told. It was a performer from a sort of Disney World in Paris.
Yeah.
They told this story about it was just at the height of the sort of Toy Story fandom.
Yeah. And
kids were walking up to the performers and just going, Andy's coming. They had to fall. Guy fell, broke his arm and lost 3 teeth because someone came up to him and said, Andy's home, and he fell. Hit his elbow at the wrong place, and as he was falling, he hit himself in the jaw and lost 3 teeth.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Just kind of thought,
commitment to the bit, but goddamn.
Yeah.
But yeah,
always.
It was immediately after with the showstopper. Was it something about people like the worst things that ever been removed from like rectums and vaginas and penises?
Yep.
And it was immediately like
the fingernails were the worst. Man.
God, yeah, just up the urethra. There was something about like immediately after that. I think it was obviously these things like you see trends in Reddit, like people find one thing and then you find immediately like 10 things about that thing. Like when Notre Dame burnt down, everyone found every fact about Notre Dame ever, and then brought it out for you. So this was immediately after the penis insertion thing, where they found a story of a kid in China who put 70 steel ball bearings up his urethra.
Why?
That's been sitting on my desktop hard drive as a potential next showstopper for like months now.
Just that's not the showstopper, is it?
No.
Oh fuck! You got something worse than that?
Cooler than that.
As long as it's cooler, I can't deal with more.
I'm at the point now where it's like it's been so long. I don't think I could find any articles related to it. But it was just the screenshot was just the X-ray footage of the balls going all the way up to the bladder. You're like, fucking hell.
Jesus.
Why would a kid do that?
Where were your parents?
At what point did they find out? Did the kid come running through and you're like, what's that clinking noise?
No, how worse would it be if you just get ready to go out, kid, we're all going out. Hold on, mum, I just got to go to the toilet. Tink, 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 tink.
Also, like, that's a surgical procedure, right?
Oh yeah.
Like you can't like pass a kidney stone or whatever. Like it sucks for guys. A ball bearing coming at me, maybe you could, but I don't think maybe an adult could do it with enough like force.
Yeah.
I don't think a kid can generate the force required to piss out 70 ball bearings.
Isn't something like the human male can pass a kidney stone with a shit ton of pain?
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
And a ball bearing is smoother, but it's probably a lot bigger than your average kidney stone would be.
Yeah.
Imagine passing, was it 72 of them?
70, yeah.
70 of them.
The experience with the kidney stone is that it's jagged. So as it's going on, it's sticking in, it's like getting caught. So you've got to kind of force it out of the jags into the skin or the flesh that it makes itself. That's where apparently most of the pain comes from. Because you have an organ that's designed to be very sensitive for pleasurable reasons. And you're just jabbing the inside of it as it goes along.
I mean, even at that, I imagine 70 ball bearings isn't going to be comfortable.
Yeah. But speaking of Chinese showstoppers, because this one comes from China too.
Okay.
Almost a theme here. We have it's a weird thing that popped up on Reddit last night, actually. And this was it was a story about a shark that choked to death. Can you guess what it choked to death on? Take a guess.
Given the nature of the last story, was it a small Chinese child?
I'm not gonna. No, I was gonna be.
Seriously, I'm not gonna discredit it.
I was gonna be close, but no, not really. It was a sea turtle. This was a footage of.
Holy shit!
Yes, that is a very fucked up turtle. They apparently, great white sharks just eat turtles sometimes. I mean, to be fair, it's floating there. It's packaged up.
Try it.
It's basically a meal.
Get a little bit of crunch in your meal. Go for it.
Yeah, why not? But to put this into context, I mean, that looks like I've just shown Dom a picture of just the shark's face with the turtle in there. The thing is that this was reported by Chinese fishermen in the area. One guy was saying, like, he was done for the day, he was coming back to port, and he'd heard over the radio about a chatter about, like, a shark kind of swimming around, and it had been a bit droopy and a bit lazy, and then people noticed it had something in its mouth. But, well, it's just fucking around with its kill or whatever. He went out to the docks the next day and they dragged it up onto the dock because somebody grabbed it and was like, dude, this is awesome. We need photos of this. And the photo of it is that this thing is fucking massive. This thing was about 4,000 pounds of shark. That is almost as big as the boat it's sitting next to.
Fucking hell. Jaws is happening.
That's the side-on view.
Fucking hell.
It's a massive ass shark. We're going to post these on.
And people wonder
Twitter.
why I will never go to Australia. Fuckers like that and spiders that are the size of a human baby. Fuck that.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently it's an issue some of the sharks have. They normally just go in, take a bite, and they spit out to the side. They come around for another time and they break it up and then eat it when it's in pieces.
Alright, so this shark was clearly just a little soft in the head and thought,
this shark just went head on. Right. I got this, bro. I got this turtle. I got this almost impenetrable swimming fortress in one hit. And he tried to one hit the thing. It got stuck in his mouth. The turtle is obviously dead. Yeah. That is not a living turtle. There's way too much blood everywhere. And basically it just choked on itself because the way the gills were eating, they breathe through the gills. The gills is the exit point. The mouth has to be clear. They breathe through what's called ram breathing. So they just swim forward. The water goes in the mouth. It passes through the gills take out the oxygen and then push out all the water. You think about it, you're going, of course that's how it works, but not a lot of people figured that one out. They figured that the gills were in and out. And no, as evidenced by that very fucked up shark. Yeah. So yeah, that was one I was like, it was so weird when I saw it. I was like, that's fake. And I just sat scrolling through all the pictures. None of them are good photos, by the way. Those are the best photos I've found of that in hours. Like, I spent hours looking for good photos of it today, but apparently every photo that's been taken was taken on a potato. So that's as good as we can get.
used my toaster to take pictures of this
awesome sea predator felled by the prey. Like, ooh.
It's kind of poetic.
Yeah,
think about it.
But it's phenomenal. I mean, the final estimated weight was about 4,200 pounds.
Jesus Christ!
God damn, that's a big shark.
But we're going to find out. They're going to do some tests on it. They're going to find out that shark was juvenile. What it came from is just the parent sharks are just going to be these huge, like 10,000 pound motherfuckers that jaws are going to happen.
It's weirdly, like, you look at that, you go, huh, like, it's just something to think about when you see that, like, it doesn't take much to take down one of these things. Yeah. Like, it takes an accident. It's weird to think, like, sharks are the perfect killing machines, but also they have accidents. Yeah.
Yeah. They're perfectly adapted to kill anything. They haven't evolved in over millions of years, but something this random can take them out.
Yeah, their own gluttony.
Yeah, their own hunger.
Literally it didn't even bite off more than it could chew. It tried to bite off more than it could chew, and it paid the price. So for that is our showstopper for the week. We've been talking Gibberpish. You can follow us on Twitter at Gibberpish, or you can email the show at gibberpishpodcast@gmail.co.uk.
Yep, soon to be gmail.org.
Oh yeah,
government organisation.
Paperwork is filed. Just waiting approval. Apparently they're busy.
Yeah. I heard a weird shredding noise, but that wasn't our application.
No, that must have been someone else's. Yeah. So, I've been Colin Graham.
We only wrote it in crayon. I've been Dom Anderson.
We've been talking Gibberpish.